like get ready to take you off. No, we're not gonna do that. I'm 38 years old. Baby, you still 30. You ain't even lived a life yet. The stuff that you're trying to do, I've already done. Multiple times. So
Respect my dog now.
I respect
my dog now.
I respect your dog to a point. But when your dog ain't got no respect for me, I ain't got no respect for you.
But once again, I'm understanding your. I don't never talk about dogs about this, so it's a one-sided fight.
It is, but this is what I'm saying.
So
if you was to call your dog right now and be like, "Hey, you want to toy together?" He gonna say no. He gonna tell you no.
Probably so why you ask me that?
Nah, he gonna say nah, we ain't together. But then when I post on Snap, now you call me.
Probably feel like you throwing shots at him, bro.
How am I throwing shots?
Sometimes it can be.
Pressure?
Sometimes it can be. I ain't saying I take it as you throwing shots, but everybody mind different. So that nigga, he can take it as you throwing shade shots.
Well, guess what? Take it how you
Can you take it if he post the same? What's my deal?
Yeah, I just saw the videos in his phone. I saw him when he had the little fat bitch bent over the goddamn car. And just guess what I told him? That's weak as fuck. That's all she had. Like,
y'all ready?
Yeah. I don't care about stuff like that, too.
My name's Snow, baby.
What? Put these headphones on. See what they talking about.
Y'all be calling about that, what we doing?
Like I'm in the studio for real. Which we technically are in the studio for real.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta show you a room for me. You want to my party?
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up? I know y'all, this is not the typical night for the G-Spot podcast. Okay. But I appreciate y'all for checking in with us. We kind of had to do like a little emergency show for me and my cousin. He'll be clicking on with us soon, all the way from Colorado. Y'all don't have to wear them.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all don't have to wear them. Damn, my shit on backwards. I mean, it's all like, ain't nobody said cat dog or shit. Nothing. But yeah, man, we was having a conversation on the not just emotional intelligence, but just the emotional state of men in America right now, and specifically black men in America. And I want black men to kind of tap in on this conversation as well. First and foremost, though, I want to introduce my two guests tonight. We got my homeboy Snow in the building. And I let her introduce herself.
And I'm Toya.
Yeah. Man, we was having a good conversation. It was kind of we was getting into it a little bit before, but we said we was going to hold off and let y'all join in with us. Good Lord. Dude.
Now you talking about me when I first did.
It got a little kick to it.
Yeah, it got some kick to it. Yeah, I'm not really a tequila fan. First and foremost, man, I hope y'all had a good week. Before I get too deep in my conversation, I do want to say this. We got 2 events coming up that I want y'all to make sure y'all check out this weekend. We have the spiritual community is having an ancestor drum circle at Sanders Beach. And I'm asking everybody who do come out, man, we're going to have dancing, like you see on the flyer, dancing, healing, singing. And this is for everybody. This is not just for people who practice Afro-spirituality. If you're Christianity, if you're Muslim, it don't matter what you are. This is just a ceremony to pay homage to the people that came before us. All right, so bring your pictures, bring your anything that you want to bring out of Sanders Beach, man. It's going to be a really, really good time. We also have another event coming up. We got I Am Pensacola. Me and Reverend Terrence Broughton will be hosting. That's on September 9th, man, here at the RWR Live 365 Studio, 3498 North Davis Highway. And with this, man, we have a lot of big spiritual leaders in our community. We have Dawada Israel with the Israelites, Pastor Tyler Burns, Reverend Hugh King. We have Pastor Larry Watson and Chief Ianifa Oshun Monife. And we also, who represent the Ifa community. And we also have Minister Taurus X, who will be representing the Nation of Islam. And with this conversation, we will be we got a few topics, but we'll be talking about the financial situation. And not only talking about these subjects, but we'll be providing solutions to these subjects as well. So how can we, the gun violence in our community, the financial situations from gentrification to losing jobs, and how it's affecting our community, and what could we do? And how can we, get counseling when it comes to the mothers who have to deal with the gun violence that's going on repeatedly in our community? So make sure y'all check that out. This is a community event. It's free. Everybody can pull up. you know, everybody can pull up because that's what we want. We calling this the Black Community Town Hall meeting. So man, make sure y'all come up. Like I said, we got some pretty good people that's gonna be there tonight. Though, like I said before, we're gonna be talking about the how y'all feel about it, men's emotional. Do y'all be feeling like men be a little too emotional sometimes? Oh, first I'm gonna let the queen. I'm gonna let her tell us her opinion first, and we're gonna get a little deeper. Then we're gonna let my boy Snow tell us how he feel. So how you feel? You feel like men a little too emotional now?
I do. I do. And I only feel like that because that's all I've seen lately is emotional men men don't know how to handle what they give out. Men think that they can just dish out whatever they want to dish out, and a woman is supposed to just take it. But then when you give them that same energy, now they ready to lose it all. I'm ready to cash in now because they can't handle it. So yeah, men are too emotional.
What you think, man?
I mean, I say this all the time. As a man, I do think that men can't handle, what they did shot. People always say they can, but they can't. I'm a man, I can't say I've never done it, but I do think that men can't take the pain and stuff when they do this shot.
Yeah.
I do.
Me personally, I feel, the same way. Cause I could say, well, shit, the first time I was ever cheated on, it only took one time for me. And after that, I was for the streets. I was like, I'm never going to feel like that again, cause I was like 13, right? Yeah. I was young.
Fresh
you know what I'm
draws.
saying? Oh, what?
Was.
That was a crazy summer, boy.
You know what love was.
But no, I did. Well, obviously, I thought I did. My reaction, I thought I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I realized that it was not being 13 for the streets. Look, I did when I turned 13. I was always hung around my older cousins, and maybe that's why to this day I still hang around a bunch of older people. I was hung around my older cousins, so they were always. I was the cousin when you pull up and be like, yeah, you got somebody for my cousin, and my little ugly ass in the back seat. That was me. You know what I'm saying? I was a little cousin in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? So for me, we kind of started off young, and I mean, I'm not saying I'm proud of it, but I mean, it's the truth. I started off young, and it took me one time to get my heart broken. After then, I was just like, I'm not.
Yeah, and that's another thing people don't understand is heartbreak.
Yeah.
A woman heartbreak, she gonna go through it for a minute. Mm-hmm. But then when she get over it, it's done and it's done. Mm-hmm. Put that shit in the casket. Mm-hmm. It's done. But men, they never get over heartbreak. Yeah. They never do. And that's probably the issue.
Yeah.
Is because I don't think a lot of black men are told enough by their parents, especially the mother. Mamas don't hug on they black boys like that. Mamas don't kiss on they black boys like that. So when they do get a woman that's willing to hug and kiss on them, now, they all in. But as soon as she take them hug and kisses away, now he don't know how to control it. Mm-hmm. He lost. So, yeah, men I think it all started at home. Everything started at home.
I agree. I do feel like as far as like emotional structure when it comes to a man, we've never had the opportunity, even as children, to really express ourselves emotionally. So we always felt like, make sure if you want to submit something to the podcast, man, make sure you definitely hit up the DMs or you hit up the G-Spot Podcast 67 at gmail.com. But I feel like a lot of us, we never, and two, when it comes to relationships, one thing I can point out is that for me personally, and I said this on the last show, I only saw one positive relationship growing up. Okay. And I think for a lot of us black men, we come into it, and a lot of people say, well, you can't blame this, you can't blame, but sometimes it takes us to be around certain people to identify what is wrong. Like if we are still continuously surrounding ourselves by people who have the same mindset, we're not going to be able to see what we're doing wrong because everybody around us feel this way. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I've never seen a positive relationship, but my great uncle and my aunt, how they've been together. This year was their 50th wedding anniversary. High school sweethearts. They 70 plus years old, living their best life even at 70 plus. Okay. And so for me, when I got into a relationship, I didn't really know how to maintain a positive relationship because it was just all like, okay, we just get together, we have sex, and we pay the bills, and that's just it. But I didn't know how to be
Submissive.
I didn't want to use that word, but that word popped up. Yeah, because both submit. You both have to submit, okay?
And that's what men don't understand.
Yeah.
A lot of men don't understand they have to submit.
Yeah, you both have to submit.
What's crazy, you say that? I was raised around a positive relationship. My grandma and granddad, like, that's all I know. Like, that's why I am the way I am. That's why I think, like, I can, like at my age, like, most people my age, like, got their own everything. Most dudes is living the best life. And, like, I still carry myself to, like, I go out and I'm enjoying myself, but I'm not in the club looking to be like, who can I take home? Who can I holler at? You know what I'm saying? And I get people like, what? Like, you stay by yourself at your age, you ain't doing it.
Yeah.
Just the way I was raised, bro.
Yeah. I will say that well, as long as we've been friends, it's been over 5 years now, I know. As long as we've been friends, though, I will say that when you with somebody, you with somebody.
Yeah.
I will say that. And I'm not saying it's not impossible for other friends, but I know for me personally, I've always kind of been, you know what I'm saying? But for me, that's because I had to identify certain things within myself. And that's why I was saying with my stories that, you know, I never really saw it. Then my growing up, my dad was, you know, doing his thing in the streets, you know, so it was, my dad got married one time out there. He said, that's it for me, you know. So for a person and as big as he was doing what he was doing, you know, women came and went, and it was every state we went in, it was somebody already there. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I saw. So I always felt like, oh, and I'll never forget, man, I was younger, and this is when I had my first heartbreak, and my grandma told me, I heard you on that phone the other night talking. You need to start talking like that, and always keep you a spare tire. I was young. My grandma told me this. That blew me, right? I'm like, what? Like a woman telling me to keep me somebody else on the side. But then I started to look at every man in my family.
Had a spare time. A few.
And Jen, you know what's crazy?
But
You say that. It's crazy you say that, bro. Cause like you just said with your daddy, it's like my daddy did everything but married. Like still today, not married. You know what I'm saying? He was doing his thing, but it's like I don't know. Like I guess I was just meant to see both sides. Like my mama been married to my stepdad like 20 plus years, and then my daddy never been married. So I seen the married side, and I had my daddy just out here, hey,
Yeah.
throwing it in, living life.
Yeah, see, and I think a lot of black men, we go through that, and so people expect things from us, but we've never seen a representation of what that was. Exactly. You know, so if I've never seen it before, I don't know how to be it if I've never seen it. Fortunately, we do have certain circles, especially social media. One thing, social media ain't all bad. Social media has posts, especially when you watch different podcast clips, especially on Instagram. I love Instagram. They will give you different people's perspectives and let you know, like, okay, well, this is how they managed it. Maybe I can manage it like this. And I know that is one big thing when it comes to men. And maybe that's why it's a problem to submit, is because emotionally we do not understand what submitting means.
Exactly.
So emotionally, for some men, that might means demasculating the man. You know, you want me to do this? Like we had a conversation just a while ago about a friend, somebody we know has a friend, and when their partner goes out, when they want to go somewhere, their wife kind of be like, you know, well, can such and such go? You know, and they like, oh, no, I ain't gonna go with y'all. And so some people might feel like, oh, well, no, you still gotta live your life. But when you decide to become married, you ain't just living your life no more. You know what I'm saying?
Marriage is a different thing.
Yeah, it's completely different. It is. It is. But I will say, you know, marriage is what it is. But at the same time, you can't lose yourself inside that though. Like
that's true.
I feel like some people lose themselves, right? And then that's why some people be so damaged and so angry. But like you'll have people living their life, right? Then you'll have some of your friends, they just so angry. And then when you figure it out, it's like, bro, you letting them people control you like that, like set boundaries. Like, yeah, when I'm in a relationship, there's certain things I'm not gonna do. Or rather, all right now, I live a life for, I could be a married man right now and be cool and do everything I do because within me, I still got a respect for me. Like, I'm gonna hold my wife to a higher standard than me, but I'm gonna respect me enough to know, like, it's certain things I can't, it's certain boundaries I'm not gonna cross. So it'll never be an issue with what I wanna do and who I wanna do with, because I'm gonna respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain people, if I already know what your name and what you value, I'm gonna deal with you in a certain handle spoon, because I know it's certain things that I just can't do with you. I got this at the house. But
well, I feel with that is that because I think a problem we have, and this is not probably just not even just, I'm not saying it's just like a black community thing, but a lot of times, a lot of people, we try to throw how our image of what a relationship should look like on other people.
Exactly.
And if it ain't what we think of the relationship should look like, you
That's
wrong for that.
wrong.
But
That's
obviously, if it's working for them, why am I saying anything about it? You know what I'm saying?
And that's like the whole poly situations. Like people don't believe in poly. Oh, well, if you do this, oh, it's just sexual. It's not. It's not, because you can be in a poly relationship. You can have one man and multiple women, or multiple women and one man. It all depends. Or you can have a mix. It depends on what y'all agree on.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs something different. And I know me, I'm not going to be able to provide everything a man need or everything a woman need. I'm just not going to be that. So I don't mind if you around here and you need something that I can't give you, go get it.
Yeah. So do you feel that, speaking to poly real quick, why do you feel that? Because when you had this conversation, a lot of times you have a lot of women be like, well, which I know a lot of women who be like, I'm not with it. But I hear a lot of women who be like, well, if that's the case, can I have multiple men? And the man would be like, oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Which you have different forms of poly relationships, which we will get into eventually. But with that, why do you feel like men are more against it than women?
Men are against it because men are territorial. What's theirs is theirs. But if you don't want something that's yours, then hey,
Yeah.
let it go.
Yeah.
And if you know you are dealing with a woman that believe in poly and that's all down for it,
Yeah.
then either get on the train or get your ass off.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because if you can't deal with a woman, and for me, my thing is this: I don't want multiple men. I don't have time for that. Men are too much for me to deal with. I can deal with one every now and then on a short term period, but that's it. But for me, if I'm gonna be in a poly relationship, that man has to understand he is the man. And I'm gonna come to him for guidance and understanding on a lot of things. And a lot of men can't do that. A lot of men don't know how to lead. So if you can't lead me, then maybe she can. And a lot of women can lead. And they lead very well. And so that's the whole thing. Like, you have to understand the difference between what you need as a human being and what you need out of a relationship. And a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know what they need.
And it's funny you say that, right? Because I rode with this dude at my job or whatever. And like me and one of my partners or whatever at the work, we had a conversation with him. But he feel like mentally and spiritually like a woman shouldn't lead. Right? A woman shouldn't lead. So me and my partner was like, okay, you say that, but who was your first teacher? Like, who was your first leader? Your mom, right? Like, when she birthed you, like, that's your first teacher. I got a partner right now at my work. Like, it's dead serious. This man, like, if he go to a church, he feel like a woman shouldn't lead as a pastor. You're like, oh no, she can't. A woman shouldn't be your first teacher. But I'm like, bro, who taught you first?
Well,
though?
I kind of agree and I kind of disagree with that.
But here's the thing: if that's the case, who your first teacher is though? When you
That's
born.
true.
So how can a woman can't teach me, but a woman the first lady who teach you?
Well, you know, that's come from the old structure of the church. That's a whole nother subject.
Yes,
Yeah, but I get that. And there's a lot of people, because there's still churches that are around who do not allow women
women to lead.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, you know, that's a whole nother structure of growing up in the South, especially. I know growing up in the South, when it comes to men, and you could go different cities, you go different states, and you can see the diversity in black people. When I went up north, people were more free and people practice anything, you know, because everybody just mind their business. You know, you don't talk to nobody you don't know. You only hang with your family.
Exactly.
When you go down south, people are a bit more friendlier down south, I believe.
Like, I feel
but
like-
when you get up in this area, the Georgia, Carolinas, up the Northwest Florida areas, which they could call us Lower Alabama, Mississippi, you know, Alabama areas. When you get over this area, you get a different type of, I guess, I don't know. You can still sense how the energy of slavery still messes up mentally. And that's men and women. But I think with the men, like, even as black men, sometimes, like, we've had conversations multiple times where we'll go by and you see another black dude and you be like, what's up? And they'll keep walking.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, well, I ain't friendly. Why?
Exactly.
That really irks me, because a lot of times, man, you will see brothers, you will speak to them, and you be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? And they'll either dry speak or keep on moving. But then somebody born with a different ethnicity will come and speak to them, and they'll be all cool.
Oh, yeah.
But I look just like you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
But you know, I'm gonna speak on that because man, you always have them conversations, and I tell you all the time, I ain't friendly. I come around somebody I don't know and don't say nothing. I ain't finna be rude, but I'm just not friendly, bro. But me, speak for me, I'm just torn with my own circle.
Yes.
I got my own circle, my own loyalty. So if you ain't part of that, it ain't nothing against you, but it's like I ain't finna go on my way to be like buddy with you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Cause I've been in the same shelter with these same people 30 plus years, so it ain't even me being funny. It's just like this all I know. Like in 30 years, I don't have no problems, nothing like that. So I feel the way I'm moving is the correct way for me. Friendliness is not for me, but I'm not gonna be an asshole to you now. I mean, what's up? But I ain't finna be go out my way, nah, bro. I'm not friendly, bro.
Yeah, but I think that's just to me, and I'm just be real. I think that is a childish way of thinking.
Exactly.
I think as a man, you should at least, and I'm not saying this is how you should start off, but you have to, especially with everything going on around you, you have to build yourself up to be strong enough within yourself to not feel like if another man is around me, I have to build up a wall. And I'm saying it, let me hit on something what Moni Ashe said real quick. There's a lot of social constructs here and gender role expectations here in the South. I agree 100%. And I think that's why things are so divided now, is because everybody's trying to tell everybody what a man should be and everybody's trying to tell everybody what a woman should be. Yep. And we all have different experiences. So everybody's definition of what a man and what a woman should be is not going to be the same. So who's to say who's right and who's wrong?
Exactly.
So
I feel like to each his own. It's how you really want to be remembered as, what you want to allow. And I feel like that's a lot of what's going on in the world too. I feel like a lot of us is, oh man, I wouldn't allow this. I wouldn't allow that, man. I feel like it's like too much controversy.
But see, that's a man that can't control his emotions, though.
No, wait, what you mean by that?
Because, okay, so for a man to say, oh, I wouldn't allow this, I wouldn't allow that, you know why he's saying that? He's saying that because he know if it was to go on, he wouldn't be able to control himself, as a man should. One thing you never do, you never crack up under pressure.
You know what?
That's the weakness of a man. A man cannot go out like women. Women can go out and see their man walking down the road with another woman hand in hand. Guess what she gonna do? She gonna smile and she gonna keep pushing because she not gonna embarrass herself. Because at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, she's still gonna be sleeping with this dude. So she gonna keep it pushing. But let that man see that woman.
He ready to kill.
And I'm telling you now, that man ain't even got to see that woman holding hands with this man. That man could be pumping gas in that woman's car because it's raining. And guess what? He ride by, see that man pumping gas, and now, oh no, let me go home. Let me go get my shotty. Oh, I'm finna do this. No. It ain't even like that. But he's not gonna be able to emotionally control himself to even ask her, hey, why was that dude pumping your gas?
Or hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Or then I got this too. Us men, right? We don't even meet and greet right. Instead of you seeing a man with your woman, be like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Who you? Like, what's up, man? Man, what the? Who do you think? Like, a nigga jump straight ignorant. Like, they don't be like, hey, bro, who you was? Or they don't think this, like, hey, man, how you, like what's
but
up?
a woman shouldn't bring another man around her man without introducing him first. Because I'm not finna take nobody around a dude that I'm dealing with. I'm not finna take another man around him and be like, oh, hey, this my friend. No. You're gonna know my friend before you even meet my friend. Because I don't want you to feel no type of way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be like, hey, I got such and such. He my homeboy. We been homeboy, homegirl this long, whatever the case is. I want you to meet him. Then I will bring that person around.
But
that way he's already kind of sort of familiar with that person.
I feel like the way society is so messed up to in the 30th year, I'm talking from my age. A lot of niggas now with me and your friends, they like, hey, that's, you know what I'm saying? Most people like, man, I don't need that. That's between y'all. Because I feel like the word friend nowadays is very, very few friends are loyalty. Because then you find out that's your friend, then y'all break up, you find out the nigga who she stay with her homeboy been smashing her, but this man smiling in your face. Now you feel disrespected because thought this supposed to be your homeboy, but the whole time I ain't saying every man.
No, I know. I get what you're saying.
I'm saying, but for the younger generation, it's a lot of that going on.
Oh, it ain't just the youngest. It ain't just the youngest.
Like, that was even when I was coming.
Yeah, I feel like so.
I'm only 8 years older than you.
I feel like that's why females are like, why men can't suck they women being friends with men, but because you gotta look at it. A lot of females use that. Oh, that's just my friend.
It ain't just that. Let's be real, men. A lot of us men have insecurities. Let's just keep it at that.
Yep.
Like and this is what irks me, man. This one thing I had to do by myself, man, because I used to do this shit. I used to always try to find a reason to point the finger. We have to take accountability.
You right, accountability.
And sometimes it's not just insecurity stem from bad relationships. Sometimes it's insecurity stem from relationship bad intimate relationships. Sometimes it's bad relationships with family. Sometimes it's bad relationships with friends. Sometimes it's emotional trauma that we don't even know how to identify. Right. And then when we get older, we feel like, oh, this is how I am. And one of my homegirls came to me one day. We were talking a couple of weeks ago, and she's like, when you're going through something, she said, what you should do, you should ask God, what happened to me in my life to cause me to be this way? What happened to me to cause me to feel like this is how I got to react to this? So when I identify it, I can ask God to help me heal from it. So I don't react like that no more. Because see, I was at the point where I feel like if anybody tried me, I feel like I got to take it there with you. And it got me in a lot of trouble. Okay. Oh, yeah. And so when I would talk to my dad, he kind of, my dad ain't kind of, my dad a player, you know what I'm saying? He was in the street. So, he paw now, he kind of calm, but he still had that mentality. He was like, no, my dad told me, you be doing sucker shit, hang around with sucker ass niggas. And when you start doing sucker shit just like them, it makes you just like them. Stop hanging around those type of people who will make you have to react like that. He said, because that is a very feminine and emotional way to feel like I have to react every time somebody do something to me. It had learned me how to check myself, because I realized not only was it getting me in a lot of trouble, but it wasn't even helping the situation. Me put my hands on you ain't really gonna even help the situation.
I feel like this, man. That's why I feel like I'm so calm to blow stuff off. And it ain't that, you know what I'm saying, I don't know how to hold my own or protect myself. But it's like, I feel like the easiest way to beat somebody up, but like the easiest way to beat you up, but what's that game? You be back tomorrow talk. I done beat you up, did everything I can. You back tomorrow, still talk. So what did I just prove?
The thing is, we need to start, before we feel like we have to react physically, let's start having conversations on why we feel the way that we feel.
But I feel like what you're saying, that's gonna come back to, if I had a problem, right, and I want to holler at the dude, I ain't friendly, then they won't talk to me for. Come back to that I ain't friendly. So then you forced to, when you step to a man, like, let me holler at you. I ain't friendly. What's up? All that. So then you go turn up a notch as the man go to blowing up at you doing all that. You trying to talk, but he blowing up, licking at y'all under at it. So now you forced to feel like, okay, now I gotta take it up, because I tried to confront you on the that's talk like a man, but you what's up doing all that. I ain't gonna let you keep throwing your hands up at me before I'm thinking in my head, this nigga wanna fight.
Yeah.
So I'm forced to do it.
And I'm gonna get on something that Ia just said real quick. She said men are passionate. However, many men are not taught how to harness and channel their passion into greatness. Who taught them how to manage their emotions? Mentors are needed greatly in our community. And I agree with that 100%. And that's what goes back to the comment that I made earlier. And that goes back to the comment that I made earlier about not seeing a representation of what it is supposed to be like as a positive man. So you can't expect for us. And then too, you got to understand, like, even when we don't try to be, a lot of us are easily influenced by our peers, and for real, women are some of the biggest influencers. You know what I'm saying? The black woman, a lot of men will groom themselves to be, oh, this is what she like. Well, I'm finna do this. Exactly. If this, this is what she want. Oh, I'm finna sell this, Yeah. So,
and now you say that, you absolutely right. Because I feel like me, like I was raised, like I said, I seen my daddy single my whole life. My mom was married, my grandma was married, or whatever. So I seen that. So I feel like with me, like, I get told a lot that, like, just because, like, I don't get 38 hot or I don't jump up, like, to the automatic defend mode, that, man, you weak as a man, or you, like, coward. I'm like, who to tell you that, though? Like, So what I got to react? Like, I feel like I get judged not off of, like, the way other people react. But the people you be talking about reacting that way, been to prison, been to jail, but I got none of this. So I'm cowardly? No, mother, I'm smart.
Yeah.
I'm not, because I'm not them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like a lot, like, people got to understand how to deal with people their own ways. Like, I feel like a lot of stuff is, because, like, growing up, like, what I seen and what I deal with, what I hang with, like, I'm not going to look at you because you choose to be different. Is you less than the man to them. Nah, that's just probably on your path. Like, different. Like, I feel like every man mentally, emotionally, like, go protect themselves. But it just, who says I got, as soon as you say something, jump off the rip, want to fight?
Yeah.
But just because you would do that, that don't make me less than the man than you.
I agree.
It just make my tolerance level different.
Yeah.
Like.
See, but then you grew up in a household where granddaddy knew how to control his emotions. Nothing got up under granddaddy's skin. I don't care what went on, what happened. Nothing got up under that man's skin. He just kept it pushing. That's just how my granddaddy was.
My granddaddy was like that too. He was quiet. He didn't really say.
Yeah.
He talked to us when we talked to him, but he watched his baseball and his football, and he used to just chill.
So that's why I feel like you got to get to know me. For me, like I ain't go around it. I mean, yeah.
But you know what though, you can say that, right? But in the thing with you is you will say that, and in the same sentence say I ain't friendly. So you're not even approachable.
Exactly.
For somebody that won't even learn you.
Get to know you.
Especially at 30 years old. We are too old to be saying we ain't friendly.
I'm not. I told you this why I'm the way I am though.
But that ain't no excuse. And you know what else another people do? A lot of people say, well, you know how I am. Even your family do that. Be like, you know your mama like that. But that don't mean I gotta take that.
No, it's gotta be okay.
Yeah. I feel like to each his own though. If I feel like sometimes we as people, we get caught up in doing something so long, we get comfortable. So if I get comfortable and I ain't never had an altercation, I'm not gonna think that the change the way I've been thinking, the way I've been moving. Yeah. You gotta think for 30 plus years, right? Like I said, like the last 5 years, y'all the only people that came in my circle know me personally. All that, like I still got all my day one friends I grew up with. So it's like my mentality, she could vouch, all my friends same one. We're not friendly. So it's not like I'm the one out of the people I deal with hanging there. You coming at me and all my homies right now. Who that? We'll just look at you. So it's not me, it's sometimes people are what they hang with. Yeah. And everybody been around, been that way so long to when you come around new people, you gotta, but it's like, bro, I'm so adapted to that. To this is what made me me. Like I ain't got no problems. Then the minute you try to change is when you get all your problems. So what's the first thing you go back to? Man, maybe I should have stayed how I was. Yeah. Sometimes stepping out your comfort zone.
But a lot of men not open to change.
Yeah.
A man thinks,
we've talked about that.
This is who I am. This is who I'm gonna be.
I feel like this.
That's not right.
I had a situation kind of happen with someone. It was something that I wouldn't change. I would have adapted to it in my own time. But I feel like a lot of times women be feeling like women don't give me a time to change. A women expect they see something, they want something change, it's gotta happen right away. No,
that is true.
Sometimes you gotta give a man time to figure out, because you gotta think sometimes a man changes like he loses himself. Yeah, like me personally.
Well, let me say something real quick. Let's get to them. Moni actually said identifying trauma and trauma responses. I agree with that 100%. Definitely the things that trigger you have to learn how to separate yourself from. And then that goes into what the sister said down here. She said that it's not that we not friendly. It's your guarded because it's in you to be a genuine person, and people in the past have played in your face. It's a defense mechanism. So now that leads into what can we do though? What can we do, or what can we surround ourselves with so we cannot surround ourselves by or keep running into the same things? Or what can we do to heal from and stop feeling like, well, this because sometimes we judge people, even in relationships. We'll tell somebody, oh, well, all men are this, or men do this. Y'all, but only have dated men in your city. There's 50 other states. There's so many other countries. You know what I'm saying? Like, but do not.
Jen, read that question one more time. I want what you said. She said, I want to make sure.
She said, it's not that we're not friendly. You're guarded because it's in you to be a genuine person, and people in the past have played in your face. It's a defense mechanism, which I agree 100%.
Yeah, but okay, here go the catch to that. When she said, what can you do? It's like you'll never probably be able to answer that, because now you got, you know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, you got some people who will play up on you, you know what I'm saying? Like play you, so you will think that it's this, but it ain't that. I feel like you never really know nowadays, because sometimes people just playing a role to get what they want to get. So it's kind of like, how do I really know when you genuine for me or you just for me for what I got going on at the moment?
But you know what I do though? One thing I had to stop doing was, and especially when it comes to dating, sometimes we be feeling like we have to force or rush into the next thing without healing from the last thing, and then end up bleeding on the people around us who are innocent people. That's when you have to sometimes pull yourself back from people and check yourself, because it's not fair to the next person for you to bring that baggage to them when they ain't got nothing to do with why you feeling like that. Yeah. And then you have people too who will even come to you and say, well, why would you do this to me? And I told you what happened to me before. Or why would you do it to me? And you know how I am. How you is ain't got nothing to do with me.
Exactly.
You have to heal for yourself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And especially if I'm not showing you these signs, if I'm not giving you the actions, because a lot of times our trauma will cause us to be paranoid, and it will cause us to conjure this same energy that we're trying to run from. We conjure it ourselves because we already believe in it's going to happen.
Yeah,
So
you see it in other people. It's really not there.
it's really not there.
It's just what you in your mind is what you see.
Or you're going to continue to attract that because that's what you already believe. Exactly. That's why I had to tell my mom. She used to always say, well, and we know most of us have always said this: if it ain't one thing, it's another. I told her, stop saying that. Stop, because you're going to continue to go through stuff because you already claiming it.
That's right.
So one thing that Ia said, unfortunately, there's a lot of males that think that they are grown men because of their age, when actually they're just little boys.
Now that's a fact.
Yeah,
that is so true.
Yeah, you're right.
And because I think a lot of times men don't know how to be a man because they never really had men.
I agree.
Especially in the black community.
I agree.
Most households as you go to, it's only women.
Yeah.
A woman cannot teach a man how to be a man.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest fear. I have an 11-year-old. I can only teach him so much. I can teach him how a woman wants to be treated, but I cannot teach him how a man is supposed to treat a woman.
Right.
Because I'm not a man.
Right.
And so, it's a double-edged sword there.
Yeah.
Like,
I could definitely see. I when it comes to growing up, like you said, we never really saw it because in a lot of households, the men were just the providers. They were there, they worked, and they didn't even really have much of an emotional attachment to us.
Exactly.
But we always knew granddaddy was gonna go to work, daddy was gonna go to work, but we never really got this. And then when it comes to men, it's not everybody's family dynamic, but for a lot of men, that's just how it was. Like, you go to work, and even for us, a lot of men, which I think is also one of the factors that play why women are some of the number of black women entrepreneurs is way larger than black men entrepreneurs, because for black men, we was always taught to basically use your body as a machine. You got to do this, you got to do that. So we would never encourage this is what you like to do. You can make money doing that unless you was a rapper or play sports. And if you're in the black community, that's the two things they push on you. Boy, you going to play sports, be a rapper, or you going in the service. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a lot of us don't have many options. That's why I push on my nephews all the time, man. I take my nephews to all kind of museums. I let them do all kind of things. All my nephews, except for one, play sports. But I still show them, nigga, you be an artist. You can be if you want to sing, they don't run in our family though, so you don't have to worry about that. You can do anything. I take them to museums. I recently took them to the Civil Rights Museum, the Legacy Museum in Montgomery, Alabama, which blowed their minds. They was a little freaked out, but it's just crazy because if we don't teach them, they'll never know, and they will get real comfortable and think it. You know what I'm saying? They start feeling just as entitled. But you got to humble people sometimes. But I think it's very important for us though to let the black men, especially younger black men, know like there's other ways. Like, you can own your own. You don't have to work for somebody for the rest of your life. People really look forward to that. I remember when I was working on a job, man, I didn't get a promotion when I wanted a promotion, and I was pissed off. And then I thought about it. This ain't even within your destiny anyway, so why you tripping?
But with my son, I tell him all the time, my son want to be a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
He want to be like
that's that generation.
He want to be like this one particular YouTuber he watch all the time, and I'm like, you know what? You can do that. He want to live stream all his games on Twitch and all this stuff. Okay, you can do that. I have no problem with that. But what I want you to do is get a job and make sure your job is going to provide for you to move on to what you really want to do.
Right.
I'm not going to continue to finance your lifestyle.
Right.
But, my son, he knows if he don't do his chores, he don't get no money. And my son have to pay bills. He's 11. He get allowance. He will pay his rent. He will pay for his Wi-Fi. He pay for his lights. He pay for his food. He pay for gas because he need to go to the game store. But, that's my way of showing him that, this is what a man is supposed to do. A man is supposed to take care of business.
And then life free.
Yeah, ain't nothing in life free. And if you want something, you're going to have to build that yourself. Nobody's going to come and give you a business.
Yeah. And I think
I'm always gone.
Yeah. I feel with that, I feel like it's important to teach that for discipline. But I feel like one thing that should also be assisted with teaching that is financial literacy. And I feel like a lot of black homes, we are always pushed. When you get 18, you got to get the hell up out of here. And when we get 18, we pushed out. And we don't have no type of knowledge of how to really work with money, how to correctly work with money. Exactly. And so for us, we go back into that generational curse. We dig ourselves back in the holes, the same holes that our parents and our grandparents dug themselves into, because we don't know how to manage money and we become the biggest consumers. You know, so we have to learn
But
how
then
to.
again, I feel like some of us put ourselves in a situation though.
Yeah, and I can see that too. I want to get on this. Moni Ashe said, what are the solutions for the issues amongst the brothers? And that's why I want to have this conversation. Like for the men, like what do we want to do?
That's real.
Hold on. What do we want to do about that? And I feel like, just like our sister said, Ia made the comment and said accountability, therapy, and mentorship. We definitely need therapy. I feel like therapy is the first step. Like, let's identify the problems first.
Exactly.
Because we can't be helping other people if we haven't healed ourselves.
But that's the thing with the black man. A black man believe if they go to therapy, they're crazy. Oh, I don't need to talk to nobody. Oh, I've been dealing with this. I seen so and so deal with it. Oh, my homeboy told me this. No. Your homeboy situation is different.
I feel like
You do need to talk to somebody professional that know exactly what to say and how to help you get through
I
what
feel
you're going
like
through.
Yeah.
with a lot of us, it's like we take off of the people we told. I feel like with a lot of black people, what works for you don't work for the next. I feel like we think the way my homeboy have his situation, I'm supposed to sound like, no, bro. My homeboy's journey, he got his journey and I got mine. That's why you and they them at the end
But
of the
see,
day.
the black man would rather go sit on the corner, smoking weed and drinking and talk to his drunk friends with their drunk state of mind, and then he go home and he like, oh yeah, I got all the therapy I need. My homeboy told me this. Oh, my homeboy told me my old lady go out the door, just change the lock.
And he more fucked up than you.
Exactly.
And
Like,
the crazy
you
thing,
need to talk to somebody.
the
For
crazy thing
real.
with this, I'm glad I got the friends I got because, and this is another thing I feel like goes on the black community. I feel like we as people, right? We feel like we can know what our friend's saying he wrong, but we feel like, oh man, I can't tell my friend we wrong. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
Exactly.
a lot of
No, you have
things
to
you
do
got to
that.
build your when you looking at accountability and action, you got to have those friends. Okay, Snow, I love you for you, but bro, if you wrong, I'm gonna tell you that, bro. And I ain't being harsh with you. I'm being real as I want the same. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
I agree.
How can we fix the solution?
That's what we need. We need more brothers that's going to hold each other accountable.
And that's what we don't have because it's so many black men that have been through a whole lot of situations that can mentor the young. But you know what? They refuse to do it.
Because they need mentoring too.
It ain't their child. That's
Yeah.
not my
Oh, wow.
responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah. And I would.
But then again, I also feel the way we raised, you got a lot of kids. That ain't my daddy. That
Yeah.
don't tell me.
Yeah.
That's true too.
So
That's
it's kind of
true.
a bit of both.
Yeah.
I feel like it's you. I feel like it's just you, and it's what you tolerate. Cause like everybody tolerance level. So some people know I ain't got the patience, so I ain't even finna go talk to that little baby kid right there. Cause he get rolled out the mouth with me, I'm ready to put my belt on him.
Yeah, and I want to get onto one thing that the sister said about open forums, and like I said before, this is why we doing this event right here. This ain't the only event. This is the first of many events that me and Reverend Terrace are starting down here in Pensacola, man, of creating the spaces. Like I said, make sure y'all check that out on September 9th at Saturday at 3 p.m. And this one is with spiritual leaders in our communities of how can we, with different spiritual backgrounds, okay? Because we all know, especially in the black community, our faith is our foundation.
Exactly.
So, and we are now in a state of, and because none of this stuff is new, we are now in a state of people being more open about the diversity and spirituality in the black community. But the thing is, that is also causing more division too. And it shouldn't be, because it's all spiritual. And so with this forum, we want to create a communication systems between the leaders in our community, spiritual, non-spiritual, and everybody. We want everybody to come out and give their opinion. It's a free event. Like I said, it's a free event. Y'all come out and give us y'all intake. We will have people there with the solutions to the problems that we'll be talking about when it comes to financial literacy in our communities, the gun violence in our community, and the effects of the gun violence in our community. And we also we talking about gentrification. We'll be talking about a lot of things, man. So make sure y'all definitely check that out. Like I said, this will be the first of many. We calling this the Black Town Hall meeting. So we need y'all to come out there, no matter who y'all are. Make sure y'all tell your mom and them, your daddy, them, everybody that this is going down. And because we want to create the spaces, and we want to be able to, which we do have people there. We will have therapists there for black men and black women, so we can, get to that point of healing, because we definitely need it in our communities. And One Black, well, yes, yeah. I've been wanting to join them for a minute. 100 Black Men of America, because we need it. We need those groups, man. You know, and it's a lot of things that people say about the NAACP. You know, it might be a little different now, but I'm pretty sure there are still some strong people in there. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely need to. It's time to armor up, man. The last 2 years since COVID, if that didn't open your eyes to what,
Exactly.
you know, now every time you turn on the news, it's something else. You got a new strain of COVID coming out. You got aliens, where you got the fact that they want to finally admit that aliens are around. You know, you got so much going on now. Now they talking about, you know, the lab grown meat. You know, like, so we need brothers too and sisters to get more into agriculture, like planting, which we got an Ia. That's what she do on it. That's watching right now. That's what she do. You know, growing our own plants and vegetables and our own animals. You know, so we got to get back into that. And we need the brothers in our community though to check themselves.
I feel like you're right, but I feel like so much been going on.
We got to stop using the buts.
No. Yeah, I feel like a lot been going on, but I feel like a lot of our stuff in the community, it comes from the neighborhood. I feel like the neighborhood, I feel like we'll never be able to get all on the same page because I feel like with so many different hoods, so many different people.
This shows how small-minded individuals are.
No, hear me out, bro. I feel like so much been on. So I feel like you got so many people with death that happen that they'll never be able to put that, you know what I'm saying, put that mentality to the side.
We ain't going to get everybody on the same page.
Listen, that's the thing. Everybody don't have to be
They
on
don't.
page 12 together.
They don't.
Because if everybody is on page 12, who the hell on page 11?
Yeah.
No,
Who on 13
this is what I mean by
shows
that, right? I feel like how we saying the brothers come together, right? But you got so much death that's involved in that, so you got people who holding grudges that they can never
No, we get
ever
that. We get that.
cross paths with the other side.
I understand that, and that's what I'm saying. When you have, say, you got 3 men in a room, right? All 3 of these men done had deaths in their family or deaths in the streets that they holding these grudges for, right? When you get these 3 men in there, they all hurting for the same thing. They just don't know it until they start talking. Oh, yeah, that was my homeboy. I grew up with him. We used to take baths together. Oh, yeah, he was my homeboy, too. Now, y'all see, y'all hurt is the same. So now y'all got to understand, let's go ahead and figure out a way that we can stop all this gun violence. Let's see how we can get these kids into more active things so they not in the streets. Let's show these kids that drugs ain't the way to go. Like, not every man is going to say, oh, okay, well, don't sell drugs. Oh, I sold drugs, but don't you sell drugs. Not every man going to say that. Some men going to say, you know what? I sold drugs to get to where I'm at. So let me show you how to get to where you need to be. That's the mindset of a lot of people, but not every man is gonna be like that.
Right.
Like, I know people done sat in feds 20 plus years, then got out, doing good for themselves because they learned a lesson. The lesson they learned was not just sitting in prison. They went down there and they had mentors down there.
And
they had
crazy,
real leadership in prison because look, you young when you come to prison. So let the OGs down there that ain't never getting out. Let me tell you how to fix this when you get back out.
But let me tell you something. It's crazy you say that, right? I got a partner, right? And he got a son. And the minute he said something to his son about trying to change, right? He was out here doing his thing. He know what it's like. So he got told by his son, he ain't real. He a coward. Because he down there, but he trying to save you from the lifestyle he into.
Okay, so let him go learn his lesson then.
Guess what he did? But now his daddy suffered from it because daddy feel like, as a man, I failed you. Like,
No. When you give a person a lesson, you can't make them learn it.
but his daddy felt like if he was out, it was more he could have done.
It ain't. What you was gonna do? It doesn't matter where you at.
But what he feeling like if he would never join the street, then his son would never had that environment around him.
That's not true. That environment is everywhere.
Yeah. But I do get what you're saying. I do get that maybe because I do agree to a certain extent that because he was in it and he was more due to the fact that my daddy in it, my eyes are more open to it, then it's going to make me more prone to do it because I'm going to look up to my daddy regardless of right or wrong. So I get why he feel, but at the same time, there was still a personal decision that he made. And instead of holding on to that guilt, he gonna have to do what he got to do to see how can he improve the relationship between him and his son. Some people can't be saved. And the goal is one thing I had to realize: you can't save everybody, and that's all right. Because like you were saying earlier, if we all on 12, some of us we all gonna be on page 12, but you gonna have somebody on 10, 8, 7, and you know what I'm saying, and that's okay.
You gotta flip back and get those people and bring them up to where.
But I also feel like nowadays,
and it ain't gonna be easy because for me, I'm the type. It's hard for me to change. It really is because I don't like change. But I do know that I had to change. Me, I was violent. I was aggressive, and rude. But yes, then I had.
You want both of them?
Okay, you don't have to say that.
still to the day.
But
the other day in the store, I had to take.
Come on.
Okay, but it's different. It's different. I had to understand that, okay, Toy, yeah, you might want to go slap a bitch down right now. Yeah. But why? This woman, she might did something to you and not even know that she did it to you to hurt your feelings.
Right.
So now you got to go talk to her. So then I had to understand that, you know what, I need to start talking to people. I need to be letting people know. I'm not her.
Yeah.
I'm a different type of chick.
Yeah.
So then that's when I really didn't talk to people. I didn't talk to women. I didn't talk to men. I was just to myself.
CG.
But then
she said she didn't. She changed though.
Yeah, I opened up because I understood that. I met this one old lady at one of my jobs. She used to always say, "You always walking around with a frown on your face. Why you always frowning?" I ain't frowning. I just don't fool with you. And then she was like, "Well, why? What I did to you?" I'm like, "Why this lady asking me that every day? She ain't did nothing to me, but why she keep asking me that?" So then one day we passing by. I smiled at her, and we've been friends ever since. Because she had never did nothing to me.
Right.
But if that's what I was giving off, then that's what she was gonna receive.
Right.
That she did something to me.
Yeah.
So now I'm open to talk to different people. I'm open to get to know people. But I ain't gonna let you play with me either.
Right.
Because I'm still gonna be on my bull.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
But I'm still a work in progress.
As we all are. As we all are. And I know, like I said, with me, and it was a lot of things that I had to change. Now I've always been kind of I was always the 0 to 100 type. I'm always chill. So if I feel like if you're taking it there with me, I'm gonna have to take it there with you. But then, like sister said earlier, then I had to identify my triggers, and I had it because let me tell you, when people will sometimes identify your triggers before you will.
You do,
and they will constantly, and your love for them, you will be like, okay, well, we're gonna get into it. It's gonna get bad, but then I'm just turn back around. It's gonna be what it is.
Exactly.
But no, let me tell you something. Although just because you change don't mean other people have changed.
Exactly.
And forgiveness does not always mean I have to mess with you the same way again. Forgiveness just means that I don't have to hold that resentment against you, but I don't have to deal with you no more either.
That right there, that is my issue.
Yeah.
People, it ain't my issue, it's people's issue.
I agree.
Because I can forgive you and move on. But just because I see you and I speak and keep it moving, I don't have to be friendly with you because I already know who you are. You've already showed me that you're a snake and you're willing to spit venom on me. So guess what? I'm gonna keep my distance. I'm gonna be over here because I don't like the fact that people that know me are able to get to me. Because it takes nothing to get to me, but you have to know me to get to me.
Right.
And family is the worst ones. Family, I'm telling you, family will get to you, get up under your skin, but that's when you have to know, okay, this family did this. I'm going to just cut them off, but I'm going to still love them. And I ain't going to let nobody mess with them because I'm going to chop Pensacola down about it. But I ain't going to deal with them. And that's where I'm at. And that's family and friends. There's a lot of people I don't deal with.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
I get it 100%. Yeah, I get it 100% because I'm the same way. I'll ride for you when the time comes, but at the same time, I do know that I can't deal with you like that because you got a lot of things.
Exactly.
And I learned too, and I don't take everything personal no more. Because sometimes when people react to you a certain type of way, it makes you question yourself, and a lot of times it don't be you; it's what they're dealing with.
That's right.
And you just have to step back and let them deal with them.
Hey,
you know,
what's
so
crazy you say that. I had a person that I dealt with, right? After so many years, right? I was wondering why we was there, right? So I hit them recently with that. And I was like, man, what I did to deserve that. Like, right? I don't think I did nothing to you, like, to cause that. Like, I still deal with this mentally today. Like, bro, like, I took something that, like, wasn't meant for me. But, like, I don't want my lick back. I ain't trying to get no get back at you, bro. Hey, it is what it was. It was what it was. I'm
See,
cool.
and that's something I had to learn.
So, I asked them, and they was like, man, you know what? I admit, I took some anger that somebody else did to me on you. And I'm like, that ain't fair to me, though. I'm like, well, why? Like, this person.
But you do it too.
Mm-hmm.
You do it too. You've been explaining it on the show the whole time.
He don't see it.
But go back to the comment when we said I ain't friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do it too. So
No, wait.
He
Yeah.
don't see his wrong.
No, I'm saying my not friendly. I'm not rude. My not friendly.
But at the same time, you take your past experiences and take it to people who don't even you don't even know.
Here's the thing. I ain't got no past experience just not being friendly. I just always been me. It's me. I'm heavy on loyalty. I ain't never back door nobody I'm friends with, bro. If I'm your dog, I'm your dog. So the way I carry my loyalty, if it's me and you, it's me and you. As in your problem, it's not mentally my problem, but my loyalty for you mean I'm gonna pick up the slack.
But what they got to do with you being friendly?
Exactly.
Huh?
What they got to do with you being friendly?
What you mean? Cause I'm just not no friendly dude. But like I'm not friendly, but I'm not an asshole with it. Like you talk,
So
y'all
are
talk.
okay, so I think I know what you're saying. So what you're saying, if you and Gent friends and your loyalty lies with Gent, so if Gent got a problem with somebody, then you gonna have a problem with that person too?
I'm gonna have a problem to a certain extent. Yeah.
See, but that ain't got nothing to do with you.
No, but see, he go to catch that. Everybody say that, right?
You can still be loyal to Gent without having a problem with somebody he got
But guess
that's
what?
got a problem with him.
It been like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna physically show up, but what I'm gonna do is what you ain't.
I'm not gonna deal with you like that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna deal with you like
But
that.
ain't no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, when it comes to that, people be feeling because you laid back, I can just say what I want. Nah, bro, we ain't finna do that.
Well, now ain't nobody gonna slick talk or slap talk nobody that I hang with.
But no, here go the thing. In this new generation, right? You got people who will say they playing both sides the whole time. Me and you mad at each other. The same person tell me, oh, I ain't this with them. I ain't that.
Yeah.
Well,
Sooner or
yeah.
later, then you got people coming. Look. So now you looking at them kind of sideways. So that's why I kill it. It's my loyalty with you. Who you ain't messing with, I ain't messing with.
Yeah.
Therefore, if they come back saying XYZ was saying, well, it's no loyalty with me. When I cut him off, he cut him off. I ain't gonna be rude to him, but they gonna feel where I'm coming from. Like, hey, I ain't rocking with you because
Yeah.
you got so many people nowadays doing that, and then they running to the other side playing middleman. Now, me and you hot at each other, and then when it take one some person to come back and say, man, you know, so and so been telling so and so what you got. So now. The problem that we could have squashed under the table, it got big because we got them, but they throwing rocks high in the hand.
Yeah.
That's why I stand on loyalty. If you want to miss somebody, I don't miss somebody because I know how I feel to have somebody say, oh, I ain't that.
Yeah.
And then they talk to the same person you ain't talk, you tell them you don't mess with,
Well,
they
that's-
messing
yeah,
with.
I understand.
So
I
that's
get it.
why I'm big on, if you don't miss somebody, bro, I don't miss
I
somebody.
get it
It ain't
100%.
I'm rude to them.
Yeah,
I'm just not messing
I get
with
it 100%, but I just kind of feel like too, in that instance, I feel like if my partner ain't worried about it, I ain't worried about it.
Exactly.
If my partner ain't saying it's some pressure, ain't no pressure for me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I think sometimes people overthink your problems for you. You know what I'm saying? Like you just be chilling and they ain't like, oh, we don't fool with such and such. Yeah, we don't fool with this. We don't do.
But
such
I
and
feel like he go to kiss that. I feel like everybody tolerance though. You know what I'm saying? Like me.
Yeah.
Yo, okay, Jen, I'm gonna say this, and she can vouch me. I got about 3 homeboys, right? I'm calm. Like I'm a dude. You can sell out to me, talk crazy, right? But I got 3 homeboys right now. If they done, it's all the way left. Whether how I respond or not, I can. Man, we ain't on that. Man, we straight. Nah, I don't feel it. But who am I to tell my homeboy? Because I'm taking it as you talking crazy. I not just like, man, this. But if his loyalty to me, I can't tell this man that he feel he got to pipe down and not want to step because I want to step. That's on him at the end of the day how he feel about my loyalty.
And then see, that's bring it all back to emotions. Men don't know how to control their emotions. Like they don't. Like it doesn't make sense.
But
okay,
but quick question: Am I lying though?
No, you're not lying. You right. That's honesty. But this is the thing here. And I know exactly what you're talking about. This is the thing. That particular person or individual, I should say.
3 of them.
With those individuals, this is what I'm saying. They will never be able to understand that they need to control their emotions
But-
because they've never been
but-
put in a situation where they have to control themselves.
But he also come to catch to it too. You have some people mentally, like you got some people who understand. You know what I'm saying? Like some people understand you.
You can fight a battle without fighting.
No, that's what I'm saying. You got some people who can understand you as a person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a person that know like mentally he ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like some people can peak when somebody trying to take advantage of you, right? So they know. People know me personally, so it's certain stuff
That's
you
true.
know I'm not gonna step on.
Yeah.
But you
That's
can
true.
read that vibe. Like I see what they trying to do.
Yeah.
So
That's
you got
true.
some people as they loyal to you, they gonna think to take that battle up because they know they wouldn't go that extra mile that you probably ain't gonna go.
Exactly. But see, and then that's another thing. I think that's a friendship taken too far.
Yeah. Well, let me get into this real quick. We got, I guess, our next guest. This is my cousin, man. Hey, this is my cousin Ralph.
What's up? What's up?
Can you hear me? I don't know if they can hear. Oh, I think they probably
Can y'all
can't
hear
hear
me?
me now.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that nigga probably had to go give himself an edge up. You know, we
No. What y'all speaking
Hey.
on right now is what I just had to deal with today. But, you know,
Okay, see, and this is my cousin. We was the ones having the conversation earlier about doing the show today. Oh man, this is one of my closest cousins or whatever, man. And his mom, my mom, my first cousins, which y'all know Trishan. This her son. But yeah, cause we was talking about, as you know, like the emotional state of black men, especially, and like, do you feel that men are overly emotional now? What you feel about it?
oh yeah, I think it's by systematic design that we're overly emotional. I think it's got a lot to do with some of the stuff they put in our food, how they poison the food in the prison system, being raised by single mothers, which that's by design as well. We could just go through so much. It's like we're the chosen people, so we're gonna experience a lot of different things. You know what I mean? And when we wake up and realize that, and we value each other, a lot of different things will change.
Yeah, and I think that's very important what you said as far as like valuing each other, and that goes into like what I was saying earlier was us as black men not being able to walk past another black dude and be like, what's up, without it being some type of plex, or let's and even with women. Let me tell you, I say this all the time. We've been seeing a lot of stuff in the media with this whole thing with Just Hilarious and the whole trans comment, which. It's so many goddamn words with that shit with the trans comment, right? And it was like, I've seen a lot of women's like protecting black women. We got to protect black women. But my thing is this: every woman that I know will tell you first that I'd rather hang with men more than I hang with women. So it makes me think y'all keep saying protect black women, but most of y'all don't even like each other. So. Which I'm gonna get, and we're gonna have a show about that, because just like about accountability with men right now and emotions, we want to talk about women too and emotions, so we could all come together and make this shit work right. But I know with a lot of men, we have to create those spaces for ourselves, and we could request it all the time because the women are waiting. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's for black men, we have to start creating those spaces for ourselves, creating those platforms so we can have these type of conversations with each other, and regardless of how we view or our life's paths, we all come to an agreement or come to a common ground to how can we help better our community regardless of our own differences, because it's a lot of, when it comes to working with men, period, it's a lot of ego get involved with that. So we have to find ways to be able how to maintain our ego. Stop feeling like, oh, just because I'm compromising, that makes me feel like you trying to make me, you trying, what now we say, you trying to little boy me, what I'm saying? And like, no, bro, I'm trying to like compromise something with you. This is how I feel on it. And I'm not saying you wrong for how you feel, but this is how I feel on it based off of my personal experiences. And we need more therapy sessions and we, like I said, man, make sure y'all come out, man, on September 9th, man, because we really we're trying to hit the streets hard with this event, like I said, and we're starting off with the foundation that's like the spiritual community when it comes to that, man. But we're going to have the therapists there in the building for people who do want to talk or do want to set appointments. Like, we will have that there. This is something I want to start doing at least once a month with different people. It won't always be about faith, it'll be about different things or whatever. We have different people in the community come out to talk about this stuff, man. But I know, for you, cuz you've been married for a little minute or whatever, and emotionally for you, like how do you deal with that? Like, you know, do you and your wife sometimes get into it when it comes to your own emotions and you trying to balance your emotions?
I'm not super emotional. I believe that a male is logical and the women bring in an emotional standpoint. So there is a balance, but I'm not super emotional. I feel like it's my job to be a wolf out here. You know what I mean? Protect my household, bring the meat back. You feel me? That's what I'm supposed to do. When it comes to the, I share that with my one. I don't really share that with because I don't want you to get out here and think that's okay. To wear your heart on your yeah, it's okay to let it out. But you know, I'm not like as a person. I feel like it's got everybody has balance. Like you're supposed to, as a man, you feel like you're like 30% emotion, 70% women is the opposite. And that's what builds feminism. They're supposed to be like 70%, 30% logical. You know what I mean? That's why I like a girl can feel like you're cheating, and they'll come at you. Like, oh, I feel like you lying. I feel like you lying. That's the emotion. But our heart is meaning that it can make you think all kind of things. But it's your job to bring that logic in. Say I did. I'm gonna just come to you straightforward. And this is something I learned. Over the last 11 years. Like I'm gonna just open my heart. But out here, I'm a dog. I ain't gonna even lie.
Mm-hmm. So what you like with the comment you just made? Like, what do you think formed that in you to make you be that type of person?
As far as
like you saying, like, you know, to the streets, you would be like you say a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know you ain't like in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I get what you're saying with that. Like, what formed your way of thinking to feel like that? Like, feel like that?
Being emotional.
What's it your like?
Raised by my mother. I don't know. Most black men are raised by single mothers. So over time, I had to look at examples of being a man, and what I saw a man was, and if I feel like if I'm emotional, it's going to interfere with my productivity as a man.
Right. Okay. And I understand that too. I feel like due to the fact that we weren't really brought up in a system to really teach us the basis to that. Even when dealing with that, we always feel like we have to be on the fence and we question ourselves. Are we doing too much? You know what I'm saying? Or if I am going to be emotional, if I do feel like I'm going to voice this opinion, like, is that doing too much? Would that be too feminine? You know, high society, because we deal with that too. I know Moni Ashe said black men need safe spaces where they be emotional with no judgment. Telling men to ignore their emotions or to disregard their feelings is dangerous. And I agree 100% on that. That's one thing I used to do myself all the time. Like when I feel like I'm running into some type of issue or something, I'm gonna sweep it under the rug, you know, because I feel like if I confront it right now, it ain't gonna go too well. So I'm gonna sweep it under the rug. But then I start to realize, especially now at this age, you keep sweeping stuff under the rug, it's gonna eventually cause a hump in that rug, and you eventually gonna trip. Yeah, come on.
So that's why I feel like it's a good idea to have a good friend, because iron sharpens iron. You your dog. You gotta make sure y'all on the same type of time. Like it's up to another man to build each other. Y'all build each other. You know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, I'm going through this. You know, having a safe space with a person, expounding on that with other men. I feel like it's certain things. I feel like it starts with a woman. With a woman, it's certain things you discuss with men, and with other men, like it's a lot of things. Internally. But to hear it externally, you know, puts good energy back into you. Like you might have heard, you might need another person to tell you that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know, some people will look at you and be like, "Well, I can't deal with a person who needs validation." all the time, but sometimes we need validation, you know,
But
because
I feel like this. I feel like a lot of people take when you talk to people. Oh, why you people not business? I feel like a lot of things men lack is I feel like certain problems that men go to females about. I feel like what it is, women got to take the initiative to understand that a man, you know what I'm saying, man is standing in it. To a lot of women, oh, he's emotional. Yeah, he too emotional for me. He got to call his friends. Sometimes men need to call their friends for accommodation. Like sometimes I may need to call you to validate, bro, am I tripping or what they sound like?
Yeah.
I feel like some people need that extra, they need that extra boost from somebody else to be like, and that, but we as men, women consider that's weak. Oh, why you calling him?
But at the same time, though, in the same breath, we also need to surround ourselves with men who think logical.
Exactly.
Okay,
Because me, I need a man to be able to call his mans and be like, "Hey, dude, Toy over here on some foolishness." Because I know when my dad was living, if my children daddy got on some foolishness, I called my daddy. I ain't call my mama. I called my daddy. Dad, this what's going on. Then he give me his side, and then 9 times out of 10, I'm always in the wrong according to my daddy. But you know, I just roll with it, and then the next day or later on, I call my grandma and be like, "Hey, grandma, this what happened." And 9 times out of 10, I'm still wrong. So you know, but that's just the way it was.
Yeah.
So I learned how to let him go get his comments and his understanding from his dudes. And me, I really didn't have no, because I don't really like everybody in my business.
Right.
So
And
what
see,
I
that's
would
the thing.
do,
I feel like we got to get out of it. It ain't necessarily my
See,
business.
but-
Sometimes we need to be reconquered of what we thinking. I
But
feel like
it's
sometimes
other-
you could think somewhere, and then you could think it's just you. Like, man, I'm tripping. Then you go to somebody else like, no, you're not tripping. You know exactly what you're talking about.
it's certain people you can get understanding from.
Right,
Not everybody
right.
gonna
Not
give
everybody.
you-
That's why I think you need friends who actually think logical.
Exactly.
Like you don't need your
Everybody not gonna
friend
give you that.
who you don't need your friend who always going through baby mama, baby daddy issues.
Exactly.
They can't even keep a steady job. They
Yep.
got their own bullshit going on. Like you need
Girl,
friends who
just
have some
leave.
type of stability,
What I'm
some type of way.
for, and
Yeah.
all I did was toast his damn bread wrong. Like what I'm leaving for?
Agree.
yeah. Yeah. You
You gotta look at
definitely
what
need
your
that.
friend got
Yeah.
going on for real. Cause you got people tell you leave who ain't got a wonder in the pot to throw it out there. How you gonna tell me leave when you ain't got no?
Exactly.
Nah.
Yeah.
Like
As you-
all I did was put the toast in the oven, and I toasted a little too brown for him. That's it.
Yeah.
So next time I know I need to go in there and toast it for 3 seconds and not 5. That's it. What I'm leaving for?
And I like
Yeah.
to cue on.
You-
I
you-
like to cue on what he said. So my belief. You get with a woman. Y'all get a house together. You don't go in together. You don't go in. She can put you out of there. You get something.
Exactly.
You get something that. You know, a neutral ground. Your home supposed to be a recharge station. It's not supposed to be.
Yes,
It's not
sir.
supposed to be toxic.
Yes.
So that's another thing. People trick themselves in. Man, you should be working on. You know what I mean? Lead your woman. A lot of people don't know how to lead. Because they just like them. They're too feminine.
Yeah.
They're too feminine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And that's another reason I never argued inside of my home.
Yeah.
Me and my children dad lived together in our home for 8 years together.
Yeah.
We never argued inside our home. We always took it to the vehicles.
Yeah, and you know what? And I want to piggyback off of what he just said about about emotional, and thinking like women, right? Now, one thing I do believe is that sometimes we get just flat out toxicity mixed up with being emotional. Some things aren't really just too masculine, and some things just aren't feminine. It's just toxic as hell, and we need to change our way of thinking because everybody needs the balance of masculine and feminine energy because we were birthed through masculine and feminine energy. But as your role in this life, you should be strong in what I feel like whatever you were birthed in. Now, that's a whole nother conversation. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, because people have different journeys, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what makes the world unique. But at the same time, I do feel that, you know, like I said, when I was younger, I always felt like if somebody pissed me off, I got to fight you. And then I got to a point where my dad was like, nah, that's like an emotional. Like, that's what women do. You don't have to do that. You don't have to react every time somebody piss you off. And I had to start checking myself like, okay, yeah, I'm going to just let that slide. Because sometimes it don't be you. It's them with the issue, you know. So I know what we have to do is like I said before, therapy. That's one thing I'm gonna always push is therapy, and Black people changing that whole mindset that just because you go to therapy, you crazy. That is not true. Therapy, for everybody I know who've been going to therapy, man, I can definitely see the difference in them already. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's very, very needed. And a lot of people go to therapy. Sometimes they want to tell you they go to therapy because they still kind of battling with certain things. But I feel like it's very necessary. And I feel like with men especially, we definitely need it because we were not taught how to really deal with our emotions. We were all kind of taught how to like sweep it under the rug. It is what it is, you know, not to identify certain things. You just go to work. Yeah, and then they wonder why we get mad the way that we do. Why we feel like we have to fight all the time. Why we feel like we have to be, offensive all the time.
I feel like with men, we get judged like, oh, why I want to lie that. I want to accept this and that. You can't always do that. I feel like a man get told to, like how you would let somebody do something. I want to took that. You too soft. You too weak. Who tells you that, bro? It's just certain things I don't feel like I got to react to. It don't mean I'm weak as a man, or I feel like with men, it's like you will let another man look at you crazy, and then somebody else, I want to take that.
Well, I get told all the time that I'm too masculine. I get told all the time, ain't no real man gonna be with you because you too masculine. No, I have to be masculine. Reason being is because, for one, I'm a single woman. Well, almost 2 years now. So I have no choice but to man up in my own home. I take out my own garbage. So if you at my house and you ain't taking my garbage, I'm not finna ask you to take it out. I'm just gonna take it out because that's what I'm used to doing. I've been told that I talk too rough to men.
I do feel like nowadays a lot of women do be getting out of pocket. Like, but they want a man.
Let me ask you a question about that. So you said you need to be masculine. Why?
I do, because as of right now, I do feel like I need to be masculine because I'm a single mom. I have an 11-year-old son, a 15-year-old daughter, and a 20-year-old daughter. So right now I'm in my masculine energy for sure. But do I want to always be in my masculine energy? Absolutely not. I want to go back to my soft girl era. I loved being soft. But now I have no choice but to be masculine, as what they say is masculine. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like I'm masculine because, and the reason I don't feel like that is because it's simple. I do stuff that need to be done. And if I am a woman and my car need to go get an oil change, I don't have a man to do that. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to make the appointment and take it. And men want me to ask them, oh, can you come take my car to get an oil change? No, you know my car need an oil change just like I know it.
But I also feel like this. Not every man keep up with a woman's schedule know much when she needs assistance.
Okay, but it's not my place. If I'm a single woman, it's not my place to come and call Jen and say, hey, Jen, you know, we hung out at your podcast. Can you go take my car to get an oil change?
But I feel like a closed mouth, also a closed mouth don't get fed. You got to speak on these things.
That's true.
My goal is, if I'm dealing with a woman, and I got my own everything going on, right? I ain't thinking to see, let me see what her lights bill do. Let me see when she need help with this. I got my own going on. So if we ain't having a conversation and you ain't throwing hints or be like, man, you know, this week coming up, I might not got it. So then I could be on the kind of the west side, like, okay, you still need that assistant. If she don't say nothing, I supposed to know.
I would say this.
Don't get fed.
That's true because I don't ask.
And somebody put it in the chat. That's a gender role. That's a gender role. That's not masculinity. Let me ask you this. Are you actually courting? Can have somebody fill that role?
Absolutely not. Right?
Why not?
I'm gonna be 100% honest. Reason being is because right now I gotta heal myself. I gotta take care of what I'm going through. I was in a relationship for 21 years. And I've been single almost 2 years. April will be 2 years. I need to heal from that because I don't want to bring nothing hurtful or harmful or damaging to somebody else.
Right, but if somebody's masculine enough, they can bring that out. They can bring that out of you.
That's true.
So maybe you just haven't met.
I haven't. I be too busy, and when I'm not busy, I don't really even pay men or women no attention. Honestly,
you just gotta have faith. You just gotta have faith in that. You know what I mean? You gotta let somebody bring that out.
That might be.
Yeah. And you know, it's one thing somebody told me recently was just like when it comes to looking with somebody, you have to sometimes write down exactly what you want.
Affirm it. Affirm it.
Yeah.
Well, I have on my mirror in my bathroom and my mirror in my bedroom. It has my perfect man. And it's simple stuff.
So what is it? What is it?
Well, it's simple. I don't need a man to provide everything for me. All I need is a man to lead me to the right places where I need to be when I need to be there.
Okay, so what's the things you need? You need assistance in? Maybe a man.
What the fuck is you, the mechanic?
No, I'm not. But I mean, women easy to say that. That's the problem. A lot of women tell you, "Oh, I need this," but they don't go into detail. So I don't know where can I assist at if you ain't telling me. I need help. I need help to be anything.
Yeah.
Well, the main thing I think I need help with is raising my son.
Sure.
I need help raising a black man, not a black boy. I don't want my son to be a boy all his life. I want my son to be a man. Like, yeah, my son 11 years old. He has a perfect credit score right now at 11 because he was put on my credit cards. You know what I'm saying? Like my son, he pays rent. He know how to pay bills. He knows he has chores. He knows those
what he
things.
need a man that got him on the right decision in life?
But I need for him to have a man in his life so that man can guide him on the things that I cannot.
That's right.
I can't tell my son, "Oh, go out here and court this woman." I can't do that because I don't know. But
I do feel like as a woman, certain things that a woman can see in themselves, they should know that from other. Like me, right? I got a 6-year-old. I could take him right now and be like, "Nah, he don't need to do that. I don't need his mama to take him and tell him not to do that." I know that because I can look within me myself, and I feel like people gotta learn how to read people's character. Women can read character like, "Nah."
It's only so much a woman can do. Because even with a man, it's only so much a man gonna be able to show.
But I will say this.
Go ahead.
I will say this. If you think masculine is gonna help your son, he's gonna do more damage. He's gonna do more damage than help. Because he might have toxic masculinity because a woman will mix it with emotion. So you might confuse. So when his woman come along, they're gonna have issues. So the best thing you can do is put them around a man. Put them around a football coach, a therapist, whatever he wants to be. In life. Put him in a room. With some good until you heal yourself. You could also be this because people get married every year. What's perfect? You can let it go by. 2 years to heal. 2 years to heal. You don't need that. You don't need that. You just need to I'm over this situation and drive forward.
That's true. Yeah. My son don't play sports. I don't. Since I've been single, only one dude has been around my kids. And
that's what I hope.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna take it from him. The dude done been through a whole lot. He been to prison, all this good stuff. Well, not good stuff, but all this stuff.
Hey man, don't be cussing my dog on the podcast.
No, but what I'm saying is this dude came in, don't have no kids of his own, took to my son and my daughters without a problem. But that's not, we ain't that and that ain't this. If that makes sense.
It doesn't. Please expound on that.
When it comes to, because I can't hear him.
You gonna shut up?
No, I can't hear that.
Yeah.
But so to what do you want me to explain?
No, he just explained to that ain't. I get what you're saying, but he want to explain. Yeah.
I hear him.
So to explain it, it's just like this. He came in with a good. He never had kids, okay? So when he came into my children's life, he was a good male figure for my children. But he was more focused on he need his own children. So if you need your own children, you go have your own children. I cannot have children. So you go have your own children. So that is what caused the breakdown. Now, if he was okay with not having kids and I was okay with him not having kids, then I would have been completely fine. I probably would have married that man the next couple days. I ain't even gonna tell no lie, because the man, like, he's a good dude.
Lift the seat up.
He's a good dude, and he's got real good potential in everything that he has done. But I just feel like right then and there, it wasn't what the relationship just didn't go nowhere, and I wasn't gonna make it toxic because I had did that before. And so I knew that I couldn't be in a relationship with him because I was bringing all of the baggage from my 21 years. I bought and dumped in that boy's lap. I ain't even gonna lie, I did. I dumped it in his lap and basically forced him to deal with all of my crap. And it wasn't right. It wasn't fair to him. It wasn't fair to me. It wasn't fair to my kids. So now we just like, right now we own that. I'm your friend, you my friend. We link up. That's how it is. But other than that, that's not what I want. I want a husband. I want a man. Because me, I'm not that girl that don't need a man. I needs me a man. And, you know, I don't need a man just to get my rocks off. That ain't, whatever. Like, I have devices for all that.
Wow.
Too much information.
I'm just saying, like, that's what most women say.
Yeah.
Oh, I need a man to have sex. No, you don't. I need a man to provide me some type of security.
But to each,
I need
I
a
will
man
say
to
this. I will say
guide me.
this. You gonna make it using those devices.
I think devices do change the
Now,
sex game up.
That is true. It do. And that is why I have chose to how can I say this? Well, I'm just saying.
I try to figure out.
Yeah, just say it.
I have taken the time to put a lot of my devices on hold.
I mean,
Like,
okay.
no. Let me explain it. When I say I put them on hold, I put them on hold because when I am with a person, I don't bring them into our fun.
I feel like a lot. I feel like, and that's a lot of what's going on. Women quick to say this, bro. Listen, I don't care. I ain't finna try to offset this conversation here, but I do feel like, bro,
He been offset it.
they kill me with that. Oh, I can, bro. They got women made toys for men. Ain't nothing like the real deal, bro. I don't care how much a woman
I'm
try
pretty
to
sure
play
both
that
can
role.
say that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People play that. Oh, I ain't okay. Yeah, we say that.
Yeah, I think it's just a temporary fix. You know.
It is because I need to be held at night. I need to be held every single night.
You know,
But I think
suffer
it showed
with
us. It shows us too because I was just having this conversation earlier. Is that you can't even sometimes you can't even get on social media without having to cover your phone because of what's popped up. I think it just shows, and it's not necessarily to attack nobody because it's even one thing I had to identify myself. It was just the lack of sexual discipline. Okay. And I think that's one thing that is a big problem in the black community now, especially with the introduction of OnlyFans, which I'm a firm believer to. And make your money. Let's be real. Prostitution is one of the oldest professions. Okay,
Yeah.
just being real. But I also, man, we see how disease has ran rapid in our communities, and especially when it comes to the black community. Like we're a big target when it comes to HIV, AIDS, and now syphilis.
Yep.
It's up there. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy though. You get on social media, you can't even get on Twitter. Man, they didn't change Twitter name to X.
X.
Yeah. Yes. It's X.
Oh,
It's not
bro.
Twitter.
So you ain't been on that? Ain't Twitter? You
I ain't got it no more.
I saw it. I'll say this.
Yeah.
And
I
I'll say
saw
this.
it too.
You can have soul ties with a device too.
I'm trying to tell you. Listen,
You know
can.
what?
yeah, I don't know if you remember when Spice made the comment and said that she does not believe in watching porn because it invites sex demons to your bedroom.
It will.
I'm kind of believing that now.
Well,
I-
that may be
I battle
true
with
Yeah.
that. I battle with that for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, coming
because
up.
I'm completely addicted to my phone.
All of us.
And no, not just my phone and stuff on my phone.
Oh, okay, okay.
But I do
Like-
feel like that plays a role because you ever know you have a partner that be like, man, you always into the phone, XYZ. And
But
then
nine
you
times
won't
out
see
of
no
10,
problem with
if
it.
my phone is in my hand, even even at my place of business, if my phone is in my hand, I'm watching porn.
And you know what happened? I had me personally. I had a problem. Me personally, I had a problem with that though. Like my ex, like she would be kind of in the phone. So I was like, oh, are you always in the phone? But that was her comfort zone, and I had to grow to understand it. But I feel like, what's the need to have me around? You could be on the phone. Like it's pointless to have me over here. You finna be on your phone.
But I think that's society as a whole. We have to check ourselves because I have to check myself sometimes. You'll be on a date and half the time y'all in our phones waiting for y'all stuff instead of having intellectual conversations with each other. And I think that the phones were designed to do exactly what they're doing. Like it was made for that, you know. So for a lot of us too, our phones give us access to a world that isn't really tangible for us. So of course it helped entice that.
And then you get to see stuff you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you know, so I get it. It's working. It's working the way it's supposed to work. And then and that's why now you can't. I mean, let's be real. Like I was saying at the beginning of the show, you really can't blame the young kids who are starting off in middle school, high school, performing sexual acts when it's easily accessible. Man, when I was walking through, I went to the fair a couple years ago. I ain't been in a couple years. I saw so many young studs, right?
Yeah.
When I was coming up, even if a girl dressed like a boy, you still didn't say she was that.
No, she
you know
was
what I'm
a
saying?
tomboy.
She was a tomboy, and she probably had a boyfriend too.
Yeah.
And then we got older, we would find out X, Y, Z, but you still never talked about that. So to see the young girls, it was just kind of, you know, and I wasn't knocking them for it. I can't knock them for it. But it was just something different to see how the times have changed where now they holding hands with each other. You know what I'm saying? They dressing more like men than the stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
now they got stuff you could take just to make you more man.
yeah, man. You can trust that
Hey.
shit if you want to.
It ain't gonna be
Social
it's crazy
engineering.
to
Social
say.
engineering.
Yeah.
Hey, it's crazy you say that, right? So last night, like I said, me and my cousin in New Orleans, right? And we saw this girl. My cousin was like, "Dang boy, she dapping harder than us, but dang boy, look at her shape. She a stud, but she built up like a woman." Like, and the girl turned around and looked at my cousin. He was like,
I mean, she's still a woman.
I ain't mean to offend you, but you could tell like he kind of offended her when he said like she wanted to be, I guess not just, oh, what's up, my dog?
Yeah.
So, but he said it, but he didn't know she could hear him. So the girl just like looked at him. I'm like, yeah, but that just
I'm one of the
that-
bros. Don't do that. Like, what the fuck? It is crazy, but I get it. Everybody, I do believe that you got to respect everybody's
agenda.
poison. But I don't have to follow with it. I can respect you, but I don't have to. I don't have to follow with it, and we be cool. Ain't no beef. It is what it is. You got your own shit to learn. You know what I'm saying? But the world is changing, man. And one thing, man, I like to watch Revolt, which is something that what the anyways.
What happened?
I don't know what he's doing.
I ain't even gonna get into. I ain't even gonna entertain that. But that was new. And it just confirms that. And I ain't knocking it just because I laugh. Please not think that I'm knocking you. But it's just it's some new stuff be going on around here, right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh man! Wow.
Yeah. So but some people like stuff like that. I like the smell of gas. I like the smell of gas after you pump gas. So
Hey,
it is what it is.
My mama always says she like the smell of gas.
Yeah, I like fresh cut grass.
Fresh cut gas.
Yeah, when you cut the
You
grass.
said gas, man.
I like gas too.
No,
but
she's
I
saying
like
fresh
the
cut. She's
grass.
telling us what she like now. Yeah.
I like to cut
But
the
to be
grass.
honest
and
though,
smell
I
it.
do say that when I smell. I'm like, ooh, but that gas smell. That grass.
But
smell
I
good.
also like the smell of sweaty man coming from work too.
Oh wow.
I do.
You look different.
That's
Well,
pheromone. That's pheromone.
Yeah, women, like a must, that natural must. Now I know a lot of women like that because I
It's not.
ain't gonna get into that.
Not tonight, beard man. Not tonight, beard.
It's not that he stink because he haven't taken a shower. It's not that smell. It's that
Yeah.
boy, you've been working. It's a different type.
Yeah,
of
you right.
work
I'd have had
smell.
that for I've been called daddy off that girl. I had that. Yeah, Lord, Jesus. Lord, how many? That's why I like to go home smelling sweaty. It's like, ooh wee, daddy, where you been? I been at work, girl. You know what daddy been at work.
Pheromone.
Oh.
Pheromone.
Yeah.
Like it's completely different
You know I've been out here grinding for that money, girl.
because like a
Fuck.
sweaty,
I've been grinding.
I
Yeah.
don't like, but I don't like a sex sweaty man. I don't like you smelling like sweat after
Well,
we
I mean,
had
he
sex.
ain't been
I
there
want
to
you
work
to go
then.
bathe. No, go in there, take a shower, then come to lay back down with me. But you can go to be and work out there in that high heat, 12, 16 hours, baby.
Well,
come
you a
on, lay
dirty
down
nigga
next
because
to
me, soon I get out work, the main thing calling my name is the shower, baby. Before I eat or take a bath, the main thing calling my name is the shower. That's no dirty nasty nigga.
Yeah,
Then we
look,
go
we gonna
out
get out.
there.
This one thing I'm trying to do too is get out of saying the N word on here, because I feel like we be mad at everybody else for saying it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, he's the
Hold
dirty
on,
nasty guy.
hold on.
Go ahead.
We've been called since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time. Describing our intent.
We was called Negro.
Nah, we even niggas.
Now
niggas
you got to understand now the differentiation in the spellings.
That's that nigga.
Now, of course, it ain't a hard ER because we know what that means when you get hit with the hard ER. I don't know what Buddy is talking about in the comments, but I'm not even finna read that.
Go ahead and read it. Go ahead and read it, man. Let's not be toxic. Read it.
This nigga disgusting.
Be quiet.
It's X-rated. It's X-rated.
What?
I'm finna
Okay.
show you.
Oh yeah, block him. Oh yeah, block him. Yeah, block him. Yeah, block him.
This ain't a sex show, buddy.
Yeah. But anyways,
Wow.
yeah. In other news, but
You might want to add him. He wants some off the line property.
I'm not even gonna do it. We're not even gonna look at them. Damn, that really messed my train of thought
Thank
up right
you, sir,
there.
but no thank you.
Like I was saying though, man, when it gets to the mental health in the black community, man, we need more brothers to get together. I do want to be able to form. So if y'all know any brothers that really on that real shit of getting our brothers together to create these type of spaces, like I have the space for it. And all we got to do is get together and make the program. So do whatever we got to do.
Yeah, Jay, we need
Because
to make this because I feel like we can lead by example to the young community.
For sure.
And I think it'd be good because I would definitely bring my son.
yeah, and I think it's that I know I understand the target is for for a lot of people it's for the younger generation, but it's for everybody because we are all if this is what's going on right now, the older generation has something to do with it too.
Exactly.
So if we could get everybody that's living, that's able to hear and that's able to want to change something, then we're gonna get everybody we can. And then the younger generation will see in us, okay, this is what I gotta do to do XYZ and to get XYZ. Thing is, man, if you have seen different countries are fighting back, man.
Oh yeah.
Different countries are fighting back for real, and that's what we got to do.
It happened here, Montgomery.
Yeah, no, that's Montgomery innocent.
You gotta
Go ahead.
You gotta social engineering. We
Yes,
gotta go back.
yes.
We gotta go back where we was doing all the work and now working on the home.
Yeah, and we got to start.
That allows me to be fair, and that allows
Yeah,
us,
and
and
we-
that allows us to be masculine. When you mix that up, that's like mixing DNA.
Yeah, we got to start back forming our own communities and being dependent on our own communities.
But what he
That's
said
true.
is right. But you got to also nowadays you got so many women brought up to everything else. They don't know the things to take care of inside. So you
Yeah.
got a man who got to take care of outside. Then they got to come home, cook and clean. I'm not finna do both.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna
Yeah.
do both, I don't need you.
I agree with
Yeah,
you. Now.
yeah.
I agree with you. Now.
Yeah.
But hear me out. You gotta lead by. Example. As a man, it's up to you to lead. If
Yeah.
you want your house to be a certain way, you could just implement small things, year by year,
Yeah.
time by time. But you gotta
Yeah.
work on. Because
Yeah.
you gotta show your mom, your woman, and they want to be, feminine, but these
That's
men
true.
want to be more feminine. So that's a problem.
That's
And I
true.
think for some men, I don't think it's them really identifying as wanting to be feminine. I think it's just going into what we said the topic is of them just not being able to identify their emotions and not being able to handle their emotions. And because the thing is, we could all say all day, you know what I'm saying, a man is this and a man is that, or a man is supposed to do this and a man is not supposed to do that. But we not telling nobody, like my nephews do something and my sister will call me when my nephew do something bad, she'll call me, I need you to tear his ass up. Okay. But before I even get to that point, sometimes I don't even have to. I sit down with my nephew and I ask him, what made you
Exactly.
do that? You know, and sometimes his response will be like, for me, it didn't make sense. But we got to understand these kids, they go to school, they be dealing with shit too.
Exactly.
Facts.
You know, and we think, oh, this is a child, you know, because we grew up, you ain't got what they say, you ain't got no, what's it, you ain't got no business, When you tell your parents something and they be like, well, you ain't got no, I forgot what it was
Yeah.
growing up. They used to tell
Yeah.
us, but you know, the kids do, they grow up, they are affected by their peers. And especially now, the generation now, I mean, I'll never forget my nephew was singing a song the other day and he says, Coochie pink, booty hole brown. And my sister almost did a backflip over there to him, right? She was like, where did you hear? And I said, before you do that, you cannot be mad at him for not only the things that you play in front of him,
Exactly.
but the things that he will hear when he go to school. Now, I know my nephew a lot of times because the people that kind of run the daycare, when it comes to him going to daycare, they're a younger set of,
Yes.
individuals. So I'm pretty sure they TikToking and all kind of stuff, But the thing, we got to start having these conversations. Get out of that whole slave mentality of thinking that I got to beat you because you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, and talk to him.
And talk to him. Had a conversation. Why you did what you do. Now this, I'm gonna take it easy on it because I want to have this conversation. Like my nephew spent the night with me last night. He said I'm scared of the dark, and so instead of me like it's getting no goddamn dark, that's how we grew up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't scared no
You
damn
don't
dark.
have to like
I sat inside him. I said, what makes you scared of the dark? And we got into a conversation of why he feel fearful of the dark, and a lot of it comes from the stuff they watch on TV,
Exactly.
the stuff they watch on YouTube.
Yep.
So now we was like, hell no, y'all staying off of YouTube. Damn sure can't get on TikTok. So, and unless it's something educational, you're not watching it. And even with the a lot of times we will have them watch the families that are on YouTube, and we'll think that's influential. And all of a sudden you see some of their videos, you'd be like, what the hell are y'all doing up on
Exactly.
here? So and I don't know, man. It's a lot of stuff going on with the kids being affected, by their peers and with this social media stuff, man. And you definitely have to monitor it. But we definitely need to get to a point with the younger generation of, instead of condemning them, because it's a lot of stuff that we did at that age that we know we weren't supposed to be doing. But no, we never had the opportunity to have a voice, because in the black home, for a lot of us, we never had a voice. It was a fucking democracy. You don't say nothing. This ain't no democracy. You don't say nothing. I'm the mama or I'm the daddy. You ain't got no say so around here.
And that's why it's not like that in my home. In my house, we are all equal. Me and my children, we are on the same playing field. Yes, I am your mother, but at the end of the day, you got feelings just like I got feelings. So if I done said something or did something to irritate your feelings, I need to know exactly what I did, when I did it, how I did it, and why did it affect you.
Yeah.
That's
So
real.
we have
That's real.
open dialect.
Yeah.
And my 11-year-old now, he a different type of breed now. But he tell me all the time, well, you need to do this, or you didn't do that, or you. My son think he's the man of my house now because he ain't got no daddy up in there. Yeah, because he ain't got no daddy up in the house, so he think he done took over that role. So I have to let him know. I have to slightly humble him, but then still encourage him that he's going to be the man of somebody's house, just not mine.
I know who
Just
man
not
that.
Yeah.
He told me the other night, I come home, it's
I
probably
know
like,
who the man in your house.
oh shush, it's like 4:00 in the morning. I'm coming home. My son on the couch. I said, what are you doing up? He's saying, well, why are you coming home this type of hour? Because I'm an adult.
Yeah, but
So now-
I can respect where he coming from at that though. Why is she?
That's true. But
You
I'm
got to
an
pay the
adult.
cost to
I
be the
can do
boss.
that.
If you don't pay no bills up in this
Exactly.
motherfucker, you ain't finna just
Hold on,
question me when I'm
Steve.
coming
Hold
up
on,
in here
Steve.
now.
So my
He's
thing is
contradicting
this.
yourself.
But my thing is this: if I have
He concerned.
But that is the thing is though. It's a way though.
Concerned.
Exactly.
It's a way that you come at somebody. Even being concerned because you are my parent, I'm gonna be
Oh,
respectful.
be respectful. Oh, be respectful. About
Yeah, I'm not gonna check you though.
exactly, and
You know what
that
I'm
is
saying?
how I felt.
it. I agree.
Yeah.
I felt as if a 11-year-old is trying to check a 38-year-old. That's
Yeah.
not going to go down. Not
Yeah.
in here. You're going to talk to me with respect. And now, if you want to know why I'm out at 4:00 in the morning, or why I'm coming home at 4:00 in the morning, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
So I sat down on the couch after I put my bags and stuff down, and I told him, I'm out at 4:00 in the morning because I'm slinging lotion. Okay, I'm not slinging drugs. I'm slinging lotion and oil.
Yeah.
Because you need these lights. You wouldn't have money to pay your bills. You wouldn't get your allowance to pay your bills if I wasn't out here slinging lotion at 4:00 in the morning. Do I want to be out at 4:00 in the morning slinging lotion? Absolutely not. I want to be in my bed cuddled up next to my man. But I ain't got that. I don't have that pleasure to do that.
Keep looking.
Shush. So, so it's just like, you know what? That's the reason I'm out.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, I understand.
Well, I wish I could say that. I ain't got nobody being a bit that tweet. Don't feel that.
See,
But
you're
you know,
peeking
it's okay because
yourself.
I'm building a business right now. So I'm okay with being out at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm okay with going back and forth to Slidell. I'm okay with going to Mississippi. I'm okay with that.
Ooh, you sure eat us the interstate, girl. I ain't got a good in me.
Yeah.
I do. I have to get an oil change on my car every other month. Ain't no 6-month oil changes. No, I got to get an oil change every other month.
You grinding.
And last one I got 2.
Too much ride for me, child.
Yeah.
It's commendable. It's
I know.
commendable. Though.
Yeah, it's commendable. Because a lot of black women have to do it, man. And I even look at the trauma historically of black women, even going through an era of slavery for so long, of not only having to be the children that you had, you couldn't really nurture your children like you wanted to. You had to nurture other people's children. And 2, just the fear of even losing your child. And I was watching a documentary, some of y'all probably have saw one of our sisters, she was talking about how, you know, when you have a conversation with, when 2 parents having a conversation, the white parent could be like, you know, your son plays, he's so good in football, he do XYZ. And the black mama, she'll be like, oh no, your son do good with XYZ. And then she'd be like, no, your son really the one. The white one be like, no. And she was like, oh, that boy, he need to do XYZ. She'll start talking down on her son,
Exactly.
right? And then they went into the psychology of during slavery, due to the fact that women would be fearful of their children being sold, that's what they would do. Talk down, he ain't worth nothing. He ain't this, he ain't that, because they would be fearful of losing their children.
Because they gonna be sold.
Yeah, and that just shows, you know, it hundreds of years of how we as a culture still suffer from PTSD. We were inherited PTSD, you know, because a lot of our parents, it wasn't. I realized I had an aunt, and she never discussed when she moved to New York, and she never discussed what went on in the South, you know. And I get it now because, you know, we can see what's going on now, but just imagine what they went through 50 years ago. We are up here cheering about a motherfucker in a white chair. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But just imagine what happened 50, 60, you know, hell, not even 50 years ago, but even in the 70s, less than 50 years ago, when they were still in downtown Pensacola, the Klan were having Klan rallies. Yep. You know, so of people now, fortunately, we coming into a generation of the younger generation. I will say this, they ain't no punks. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah, like they ain't no punks now. They'll stand up for themselves. But we need that energy, but we need that energy geared to the right thing. Because even with us growing up in school, a lot of the people that we knew that went to the streets, man, they were mathematicians. They could sing, you know, like they had other, but they didn't have people in their circle to encourage them. Like, you could be better than that than going to the streets, you know. So a lot of talent was lost to the streets, you know. So we have to, that's another reason too why it's important for us to create that space and to create these discussions on not only pointing out what is wrong, but what can we do as a community to help solve it. You know, and how can we correctly approach people, because we can't approach everybody the same way. How can we approach people? What different ways we can approach people to get people to come along and be like, hey, this is what we need to do. You know, and I ain't saying we ain't forcing nothing on you, but this is what need to be done. Exactly. And 2, I know one thing you said earlier, you was talking about, you know, sometimes you have to go back and get people. Honestly, I feel like when you put the information out there now, it's up to you to get on the bandwagon. But ain't nobody finna be slagging behind to come pick you up.
But the reason I say sometimes you have to reach back and get people, because a lot of times people they don't always comprehend exactly what they're going for.
I agree.
So it's like, okay, you tell me, oh, we're gonna go to this march. It's only gonna be blacks. I'm gonna hear what you're saying, but then the person behind me might not hear it. All they might hear is a march. So it's like, well, I ain't gonna go to no march. I don't know what that's about. No, it's up to me to reach back to that person and be like, hey, no, sis, this where we going.
I get you.
And that's what a lot of people don't want to do. A lot of people don't want to reach behind them and grab other people up.
I agree.
Yeah, somebody.
You do.
Somebody. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
So I know our people. Suffer from Stockholm syndrome. And
can you explain what that is real quick?
So Stockholm is basically you know, every action is a reaction, and basically it's the trauma, it's the PTSD that was beat out of us. I want everybody. If you're listening to go back, and look at the Willie Lynch letters that was sent down. December 25th. Talking about how he divided people according to color, age, sex, and different aspects of the mind to break down because slavery was the start. You're talking about destroying the people, the mental. Now you have a kid, and that's like genetically modifying carrots. Now the DNA ain't working. You know what I mean? So we need to be fixed spiritually, not corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like one good explanation, like in movie form, is I don't know if y'all watched The Woman King, but The Woman King was a pretty good breakdown too of like how you were saying that, you know, they really messed with us mentally. They came to us, oh well, we could do this, you know, we could do that, and because slavery was always around. Okay, slavery been around for a long time. Now the slavery that we know in the Americas was a little different, but in the intention of it was a little different, but slavery was always here. But that's what they did. They attack your mind first. And when you attack a person's mind, or when you even let somebody have control over you like that, that's a pretty powerful thing. And that's one thing, even when it comes to hate, man, I had to realize certain things that happened to me. I used to feel like, you know, I really hate this person, but I realized me hating them lets them live in my head rent free. Okay.
Exactly.
And you have more control over me than I even have over you. You know, and while you out here living your best life, you know, so I had to let that go. I'm not about to hate nobody. It is what it is. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah. So I got, like I said, man, make sure y'all check us out this September 9th. Like I said, here at the RWL Live 365 studio. We got some pretty good people. Minister Dwada Israel with the Israelites out of Mobile, Alabama. Pastor Tyler Burns, Reverend Hugh King, Reverend Terrence Broughton. Me and her will be hosting this event. We got Pastor Larry Watson. Let me tell you, I'll get into that. E5 Priest, Chief Iyani from Oshun Monife. And we also got Minister Taurus X with representing the Nation of Islam. One thing I can say, man, I recently saw Pastor Larry Watson preach a funeral, dog. It ain't too many pastors in the South that's like him. That's like revolutionary, like pastor that's just gonna keep it real. Like this is what we got going right now in the black community. Like I understand we got other people around here, but this is what we need to do for our own community, and they gonna stand up and say it out loud. And I remember growing up in church, a pastor told me, he was like, man, you know, Jen, it's so much stuff that I want to talk about in the church, but the church ain't ready. And I was like, well, that means you kind of misleading the church then.
Exactly.
Because as a leader, you're supposed to tell.
Yeah, you're supposed to say what you need to say.
You're supposed to say it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's going to help strengthen our communities. You rarely see the churches in the communities doing it. I remember back in the day, man, you had, the church I grew up in, they had a college fund. When you went to college, they gave you $2,000. You know what I'm saying? They had a funeral fund. When somebody died, you didn't have the expenses. The church helped pay for your funeral. Now, you got to pay to have your funeral at the church that you've been paying tithes at.
Yep. Yeah, because you're paying for that pastor to drive that nice Cadillac.
We gonna
you gotta realize that's conditioning as well. They go to theologian school. That's what they teach. That's what they teach. They give them an agenda that they gotta follow. And if you don't follow it, you won't be a funded church.
Yeah. Because it's all run by the government. I mean, that's why I was like, the churches with the PPP loans, after the PPP loan came out, you own the church, there should have been no more building fund because y'all all should have been applying.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be taking our money. Go ahead and get y'all 40 bands and build on that little fellowship hall that you've been trying to do. But yeah, man, we appreciate y'all, man. We've been here. We appreciate y'all for checking in. We appreciate my cousin Ralph all the way from Colorado checking in with us. Y'all will definitely be seeing his face more. We got some things coming on. I ain't finna get into this. And we thank Toya. We appreciate you for coming in again, especially on short notice to the G Spot podcast, man.
Yeah.
Y'all be blessed. Make sure y'all continue to pray for yourself, pray for one another. And you know, I always tell people, man, faith without work is dead. You know, Jesus ain't just, I ain't gonna say Jesus, but you know, God just ain't finna just lay something in your lap just because you're asking for it. You actually got to put in the work for it,
Yes,
man.
sir.
And
Yes,
yeah, man. Anybody else? Y'all got anything I want to close with?
Oh no, man. You covered.
All
And
right,
I did
man.
want
Well,
to
we'll
say,
see
and I
y'all-
did want to say one thing.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna leave y'all with it. Women value yourself. If they not real enough to marry you, don't let them knock you up. Don't let them knock you up. Cause that DNA exchange is real.
That's true.
And you're gonna be tired. And you're gonna be tired with them spiritually. When you have soul ties with a person, y'all become one. So don't let them knock you. Don't let them knock you. Make them marry you. Make them marry you first.
Yeah.
We love
And that goes,
competitive at the plan.
yeah, and that goes into accountability as well. Yeah, that's definitely a big one, man. And one thing I'm so thankful about my sisters with that, man. I never heard my sister's name in the streets. And, you know, you got to be very intentional about when you land up with somebody, because one thing about a lot of people, we see like sex is changing. And I'll be real, how I look at sex now, I feel like even as the black community is transforming into this westernized forms of sex, into where y'all be wanting people to spit in your damn mouths and shit like that. That is beyond me. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just, why would I spit? People have infections in their mouths. You know what I'm saying? So
I ain't got that yet.
yeah, I ain't got that yet. I ain't even trying to go there. You know, we can slow the bus down right there. But I think people don't understand the seriousness of sex, because sex is ritual.
It is.
And so you just can't, it's not just about a feeling, because even if if I'm having sex with somebody and they full of depression, I'm inheriting that depression now.
That's
Soul
true.
ties.
You know what I'm saying?
Soul ties.
Soul ties, you know what I'm saying? Because soul ties is not just time with the soul, it's time with the debts and everything that soul totes. And that's why too, sometimes, man, you got to be careful, especially when you're dealing with people who like struggle with pedophilia and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm big on not letting everybody come in my room and sit on my bed. You just never know what you'll have lingering around your house and have you having crazy ass thoughts.
See, but that's the thing with me. I don't let nobody come to my house. If you come to my house, I have to understand and know who you are as a person, as a human being.
Yeah.
I don't let people eat out of my dishes. Don't ask for no cup of water. Don't ask to use my bathroom. You can't do that. Like, if you come to my house, we're gonna sit out there in the car and talk. Because you can't come to my house.
And I'll say
Just
this.
because
And
I
I'll
don't
say
want you to
this.
bring that around my kids.
I'm with you the same way. I'm the same way. And you can feel when the energy bad. You can feel.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can feel.
most definitely.
But another thing that people don't know is that when you sleep with a person, a kid bow. That's more DNA. That's why I tell you. That's why I say he's leaving footprint.
That's true.
So you got six niggas you gonna act like.
Yeah.
So understand that.
And that's too where a lot of the women who got into practicing the yoni steams, that's where a lot of the motivation came from, clearing that energy within you. And then it even goes into abortions, because a lot of people don't understand that a lot of times that energy is still within you,
Yeah.
you know? So you definitely have to be very mindful, especially it coming into having unprotected sex.
Yes.
You know, sex enough is serious, but having unprotected sex. And
Yeah, that's too much.
yeah, you know, and you got some people who tell you, I don't like using condoms. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's something
I'm like
I
that.
never understood.
I think most people are, but at the same time, if I don't know you like that, if I'm not trying to build with you like that,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying, then I need to watch myself.
I've never understood unprotected sex.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, when I had my first kid at 17. Yeah, then, you know, who was worrying about it 20 years ago?
Yeah.
But now it's just like, wait, what are y'all talking about? Because I had a little dude trying to talk to me probably like 3-4 months ago. Guaranteed, I don't have nothing. It ain't nothing about what you got. It's just I don't want you skeeting nothing up in me. Because I don't know what you practice. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know what you
spiritual.
understand.
Yeah.
But sex is
And-
marriage.
Yeah.
So
And he got upset. He was upset, so he can't talk to me because I'm not the type of girl that's just gonna let you just shoot up my club. Like, you know.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
you know.
You gotta make yourself exclusive though.
Yes.
If y'all gonna have sex, and I might be cliche or I might even be proud of myself. Cause me and cuz back in the day, we was cutting up,
Bad.
but now I got a mindset about it. We need to go get tested. We need to go get tested together. And if we have sex, let's be exclusive.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely, and that goes for men and women. Like you have to protect yourself. And to one thing I seen a sister post like a year ago is that it is poor spiritual hygiene to allow yourself to go through certain things like that, or you know what I'm saying, that when it comes to unprotected sex and just allowing certain energies, you have to be very protective about the people and the people that you lay with, of course, but just the people that you be around. Period.
Exactly.
Because hearing your friends, you being around people, every time I'm coming around you, it's just something negative. Every time I come around you, you're just talking about somebody. Like, get yourself away from that.
That's right.
Get yourself away from that. Hold people accountable for the bullshit that they bring, and realize that you don't have to tote their burdens. That's not your problem. Like, going on about your business. Keep that thing moving. Definitely.
Yeah, my
though.
basket heavy enough. I'm trying to unload some bricks out of it.
I had because I used to feel like it was just because I was a person. I used to address everything. And when I think about it now, just excel. And if it don't serve you, don't serve it.
Mm-hmm. If it don't serve you, don't serve it. That's true though, because a lot of times we be reacting and feel like we have to respond to stuff that is not going to change the outcome of nobody's situation. It's not, and it might make you feel bigger on the inside, but what did it change?
Exactly.
So that's me. I'm big on that. I only put energy into things that I know is going to reap. I'm going to reap the benefits of, and that's even is any relationship. And I was just telling him about this. All your relationships and your friendships should add value to you.
That's right.
If you add no value to me, there's no reason I'm hanging with you every week.
Exactly.
there's no reason for all that, because we don't have time. Like, as we can now see, man, I remember my dad. I was 17. I was finna graduate high school. My dad told me, he said, "Before you know it, you'll be 30, son." I turned around, I was like, "What the fuck?" I've been out of high school now for 14 years.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, damn, like time really do. And now I'm looking like I wish I knew what I knew then, but I didn't have the proper people to lead me. And the people who I did look up to, they were still healing from shit that they never told me about.
Exactly.
And that's even with our parents. Like we can fall and point fingers at them and say, well, you could have did, you could have did that. But man, especially when it comes to the women in our family, and women who were raped. Even in relationships.
Yeah, they not gonna talk about it because they don't want nobody to know that's trauma that they dealing with.
Yeah, and then we wonder why mama sometimes have this attitude, or mama sometimes she flip out, or you know what I'm saying. And they not gonna tell us what it is, but we have to be more understanding that that's their journey. And hopefully one day, as me being a godly image to the people who me want to be a godly image to the people around me, maybe one day I can encourage her to say, or him to say, you know what, let me go ahead and talk about this. This is what happened to me,
Exactly.
Because we have to do that. We have to look out for our parents too. And sometimes people don't feel like they have to do that. Like, yo, you the parent. But at the same time, like, we are here to experience each other. And maybe I was sent here to help you identify certain things for yourself. We have to man up and do that. We are all spiritual beings. I don't care what the hell your background is. We are all spiritual beings. And that's what a conversation I was having earlier. They was talking about a ancestral event for next weekend. It was like for the spiritual community. Every community. I don't give a damn if you're the Nation of Islam. I don't care if you are Israelite. If you into Ifa. I don't care what you into. Everybody is a part of the spiritual community because it's all spiritual. Yeah. And the reason why it is the way it is because it's just the first our connection with God. That's really the only difference. And so I think when we get ourselves, like my cousin said earlier, get ourselves together spiritually, because that's where we got damaged at, for real, for real. We were ripped from that. And now we trying to figure out who we are. We don't even know our nationality. We don't know where the hell we come from. We don't know who we are part of. It's hard to even go back and find the records of your great-great-grandparents. You know what I'm saying? And even then, you got to realize, you even got trying to pick like, is this even true? Because then all of a sudden you'll find out you something totally different. You know what I'm saying? So, or you are a descendant of somebody that was totally different from who you thought you were. You know, so it's time for us to like really start identifying, putting in the work to identify who we are, so we can stand in who we are. You know, because everybody else say no. I had one of my coworkers told me, it was like, my great grandmother was a duchess, and she ended up marrying her brother killed a Viking, and she married the Viking, and so they came to live in these lands to get away because the family didn't approve. Like, how the hell do you know this?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We can't think of shit past Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't, and that's messed up. Yeah. We but then the people don't want to put in the work.
It's hard. It's hard. You gotta really fight, because you had people like Caesar, Napoleon around, who went around the records in our libraries, so we wouldn't have access to this information, but everything that's in the dark will to the light. So be motivated.
Yeah, definitely, man. Make sure y'all check me out next Thursday. You know, each and every Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. We would definitely, though, in between time, be having more shows, because I do want to start putting out more content. If y'all haven't, like I said, make sure y'all check out last week. It was a very, very interesting episode we had up on here. Shout out to my sister that was up on there. Once again, man, make sure y'all support y'all local black businesses, man. And continue to strive to be better not only for yourself, but for your family. And then when you're better for your family, you will be better as a community. And man, yeah, peace and love, man. Y'all have a good night.
Link me on that lotion too. I love natural products.
I am a massage therapist. I do travel, but Colorado is not a state that I travel.
I'm good on that. About the lotion.
All right, cuz. All right, y'all